Hey y'all, it's Garth, the Big 615. You're going to hear the newest that country music has to offer. At the same time, you're going to hear the newest that the country classics have to offer. I want to hear the new single from George Strait, and I want to hear it right beside the new single from Luke Combs. That's the thing we call the Big 615.
Download the free TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. Or ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Alrighty, so Keanu Reeves again, man. Unlike The Rock, okay, can I just say Keanu Reeves, unlike The Rock, is captured on social media, not selling anything, not doing anything. Well, all right, he kind of was.
He's just looking for any reason to hate on The Rock. I get it.
Yeah, he was. I mean, Keanu was at a surprise signing at a comic book store in L.A. last week. He's got this new series called Berserker. I don't know if it's a comic book or if it's a TV show. I imagine it's a comic book. What's he doing in the comic book store?
It's a comic book series.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I was hoping it was based off of that, the Clerks movie, Berserker.
Oh.
Would you like to do something to me, Berserker? You remember that?
Wow, that's a I forgot that.
I thought it was based on that. I just like singing the song. Berserker.
And did he, do we know if he wrote this? Is that the idea? I hope I have.
His name's on the cover, so
all
it doesn't
right.
quite say.
Plus, his face looks like it's on the cover. So the comic book character kind of based on him, looks-wise.
I'm going to have to, all right.
Oh, it's definitely, look at this other still of it. That's totally.
Oh, yeah, that is totally him as Berserker.
Berserker.
Hey, look at him. He's a guy that's shooting stuff. That's so out of character for
There's a shocker.
I love it because one of the covers is this famous picture where he's sitting there all sad eating his lunch. It's based off of that famous picture of him looking all sad. They call it Sad Keanu.
I hope there's zero dialogue in this. It's just pictures of him murdering people. We don't even understand what's going on. Well, he doesn't talk in movies. He doesn't talk in comic books. He's just Berserker.
Well, if it does well, maybe it'll get made into a movie, and then will he play the role, or will they get somebody else? Because he's kind of getting a little older.
Who cares if he's getting older? You just saw John Wick. He still kicks ass.
He does still kick ass. You're right.
He's still got 10 years in him?
You're probably right. He probably still does have.
Probably longer than that. Look at it. I was about to say Indiana Jones, but his name's Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that guy.
He did it forever.
Well, I mean, yeah.
He's 58.
Yeah, so he's older than I thought.
I think he could go till he's in his mid to late 60s.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you. He's in good shape. Mm-hmm. And you get stunt doubles and whatever. I suppose you can still fake it if you wanted to. We'll see. But anyway, why are we talking about this new comic book? Well, I guess because he had a great interaction with a 9-year-old fan that someone posted. Okay, so it wasn't even him posting. So this is why he's a little better than The Rock.
Just The Rock would have posted it himself.
The Rock would have totally posted it himself.
He would have hired a kid actor to make sure that it went exactly how he wanted it to.
You know how The Rock goes. So here's this viral video, which you can catch on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com of Keanu with a 9-year-old fan.
I'm such a big fan.
What's your name?
Noah. My name is Noah.
Hi, Noah. I'm Keanu.
You're probably my favorite actor in the whole world.
Oh, my gosh, Noah.
Best.
Thank you. Did you see Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4?
Yeah, he's my favorite character.
Canada's greatest stuntman. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
See, even he does the voice. We couldn't get Hugo Weaving to do the voice for me.
You're just using Keanu as a reason to hate on everybody.
Wow.
Who else? And he even played the drums. And we couldn't get Peter Criss to play the drums.
Yeah, see?
And he showed up on time.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he did.
I love that he introduced himself, even though the kid said I'm a huge fan. Like, I think there's something really cool and endearing about that. Like, I'm a huge fan. Oh, by the way, my name is Keanu. It's nice to meet you.
I know. It just in every way, Keanu just comes off like this really super down to earth dude.
Plus, I love kids. There really is no filter. He's like, you're probably my favorite actor. He didn't say you are my favorite actor.
You're up
pretty
there.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know who his other favorite actor is?
It better not be
The Rock.
Yeah, it better not be because that kid. I'm going to cancel that kid if that's the case.
Yeah, I saw his Instagram story. He was like, "Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but The Rock's my favorite, and Keanu's my second favorite."
Yeah, good job, Keanu. That's how you be a great guy and get on social media. You don't do it yourself, and you don't give the kid a bottle of Terramana tequila. Go here, give this to your father or mother or caregiver.
Wouldn't it be funny if Keanu Reeves was also like that to adults? Like if they came up, he talked to them the same exact way.
Dude, I would love that. Wouldn't you love that if you got treated the way they treat kids?
Like, dude, my favorite movie is Bill and Ted. And he just goes, be excellent to each other. I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
That would be so cool.
He's not going to do it. Maybe he would, but I don't think he would.
If it was The Rock, yeah, he wouldn't do it.
What are you talking about? Rock would raise his eyebrow and tell you to stick something up something sideways.
Yeah.
Okay. And call you a jabroni.
Okay, well, you know what? You go try.
As we take shots of Terramana and laugh at you.
That's funny. You know, I do love this fantasy you have. It's a nice one.
It's a great one. Then we go off and get sushi.
Yeah. Oh, then you
nice.
go get sushi.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm like my daughter. I just create scenarios and full conversations.
Is he watching? Is he taking you to a Kraken game and getting you in a suite?
Eventually, yes. But first, we have to stop and watch the Tooth Fairy again.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
the greatest rock movie of all time.
Well, there you go. Keanu Reeves making a kid happy and didn't film it himself.
It's like I can't trust someone who doesn't like puppies, and I can't trust somebody who doesn't like Keanu Reeves.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't like puppies,
and that's why I don't trust you.
Yeah, but I do like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, okay. That brings you a little bit back up.
Yeah, I'm half trustworthy.
Yeah, if anyone hates on Keanu Reeves, I'd be like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you know, and maybe they're out there. You don't hear about it, you know. But I mean, maybe they're out there. But there's really not a reason, unless maybe you don't like all the violence in his movies. That's about it.
Yeah, but as a human being, he's always doing really cool things behind the scenes.
Yeah, and he doesn't record it himself. Which, I mean, I may have taken shots at The Rock, but, I mean, he could. You really couldn't fault him for doing that. Like, you know, he's promoting his new comic book. It would be a perfect...
Maybe he has someone who helps him out. It's a plant.
Oh, I see. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, until that gets proven, The Rock is no Keanu Reeves. Done. We got a guy that blocked the path of a school bus because a kid on the bus flipped off his wife. What? And so this guy's like, I'm going to stop this bus. And, okay, Steve's going to tell you all about it. He's got the Migs report for you at 6:19 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
If you're hearing an informative newscast right now, well, then you must not be listening to BJ and Migs. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks to Palace Law for giving us the Migs Report. And today is a day to love your thighs. Happy Love Your Thighs Day.
Okay.
Yeah, Thigh Master. You know, maybe just look in the mirror at your nice thick thighs and say, you know what, they're looking good today.
Yeah, I just never gave them much thought.
Well, maybe you need to start. And today is that day because it's National Love Your Thighs Day.
Okay. See, I was thinking chicken thighs. I do love my chicken thighs.
You could have some chicken thighs.
Yeah, go to KFC and get some of those. They're delicious.
All right. Yep, I was thinking more just like stare at my own thighs. Maybe today at the gym, instead of I never touch this machine, that one way it's like you have to spread your legs open and close it.
Yeah.
Maybe today is that day.
Ooh,
fellow gym goers, you're welcome.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a beautiful look for everyone.
And I'm sorry.
Yes.
Also, today is a day that you celebrate every day, BJ.
What is it?
Take our daughters and sons to work day.
Yeah.
Oh, today's the day.
In all fairness, you don't really take your son to work.
No.
And actually, it's more like take your dad to work day because your daughter drives.
Yeah, that's been a new bonus of that.
Yes. You have a personal driver.
I love that. I've always wanted a personal driver. One of my buddies way back in the day in New York City used to have one, and I was like, I'm so jealous.
Do you sit in the back seat?
Yeah, he's Mr. Daisy.
Okay, cool.
Of course he does.
Do you make her wear the little hat?
Of course you got to wear the little hat, Danny. Otherwise, what's the point?
Why do you think she wears a bow tie every day to work?
That's fair.
Yeah, the hat and bow tie.
And she calls me Sir.
Oh.
Sir Daisy.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Sir Daisy a lot.
All right, let's talk about this guy. Maybe he needs a personal driver for his kid so the kid doesn't take a school bus because this guy, man, he's got to control his anger issues because he's in Georgia and he's been charged and arrested at one point because of what he did. He blocked the path of a school bus and demanded the name and address of a child that he claimed flipped his wife off.
Okay, then.
Now, look, I'm not questioning whether or not that's true. There's a very good chance that's true. I've been flipped off by kids on a school bus. That's just what kids do on a school bus. When you're driving, some of them are just little turds.
Yeah, and look, I
what
think all of us would have done that, too, if we were little kids and we're, we did a lot. People used to moon people. I mean, that's what kids do.
Kids are just idiots behind and inside of a school bus. But you know what does he do? No, he doesn't just let it go. He has to defend the honor of his wife, or just, I don't know what his deal was, but he stood in front of the bus. He refused to move. The whole ordeal lasted about 30 minutes. So here's one of the moms. Her name's April, talking about what she witnessed during this whole situation.
Everything goes through your mind. What if my child is hurt? I'm just flabbergasted that a grown man would have that kind of response in front of children.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with her. Like, dude, just let the bus go.
Yeah. And who was the guy? Was it Will Smith? Was he the one that wanted the keep your finger out my wife's face?
He doesn't look much like real Will Smith. He's a 55-year-old guy by the name of Roger. Oh, Roger. Arrested and charged with disruption or interference with operation of public schools.
I'm just flabbergasted. I can't believe that grown-ass man would do that.
The kid was just saying your wife's number one.
Which I think
he's still learning which finger to use.
Yeah, it gets misunderstood all the time.
Did he not think that people were going to film this? Like a bunch of parents filmed the whole ordeal.
Yeah.
He probably didn't care. He was just red with rage.
You know, that unresolved anger, it's a thing in this country.
You know who might have some unresolved anger?
Yeah?
Colorado Avalanche fans.
Here we go.
To quote the great John Forsland, that's cracking hockey, and exactly that's what it was last night. That's the same team that we saw win Game 1. That's the team when they're at their best. That's what they do. They block shots. They play great defense. Groovy steps up when he needs to. Clutch goals. Great coaching. Everything was firing on all cylinders as your Seattle Kraken beat the Colorado Avalanche 3-2, moving into a 3-2 series lead. And where's game number 6 happening? Here in Seattle.
Oh,
BJ.
it is.
Game 6 Friday night, tomorrow night at Climate Pledge Arena. You know, dude, as soon as the game ended, I checked like Ticketmaster to see how much the tickets jumped up. They went up like another $100 immediately.
Yeah, they did.
They're well over $300 to get a ticket into this game.
Should have bought a ticket before the game was over, Steve.
Oh, no, I couldn't afford it even when the game was happening, DJ.
You should have bought a ticket last year before we were in the playoffs, Steve.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do what I think I'm going to do is that's going to sit my ass on my couch.
Yeah.
Although part of me wants to just go down to the Climate Pledge because they had the big screens during the playoffs outside of the arena.
We had fun. I mean, it depends on how nice it is outside, but we had fun outside Wrigley Field.
Yeah, I know.
We were able to watch a game, and we were like right next to the park, literally outside the wall.
Well, the Seattle Kraken one win away from eliminating the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Colorado Avalanche. Moving on to the second round. Oh, they were great in so many aspects. Like I said, defense was just unreal. They were blocking some clutch shots, including right at the end of the game. They were able to contain their star players. Sure, they got some goals, but you know what? Without those star players like McKinnon and Rantanen, that team just seemed lost out there. And that's why those players played for almost the entire game, or at least half of the game. It was kind of insane how much they played them.
And that really isn't good for them either.
And for the 5th straight game, Kraken scored first. Woo! It took till the second period, but Geeky proving once again, you pop out a baby, you pop out good performances.
That's, I think, should be on a fortune cookie.
It's time to impregnate more Kraken wives.
All right, well,
they have to do it, not us.
Okay, Danny.
Players have to do it.
All right, well, finally, Joey D's has a mission.
Groovy gave up one I'm sure he would like to have back where he played the puck a little weird. And that's just that, dude. That happens. That sucks. But you know what? Besides that,
Groovy, can't you see? Sometimes your plays just hypnotize me, and we just love your big love saves. Guess that's why you win, and the Avs are lame.
That's right.
You know what? Joey D's was telling me that also happened in the Bruins game.
It did, yeah.
So apparently the goaltenders were like, why clear it out?
You know, I mean, look, it's on a beer league level, but I've done that where you try and play the puck and you think you got it cleared and it doesn't go off of your stick the way that you hope, because it's a lot harder to shoot the puck with a goalie stick than it is with like a player stick, and you kind of shank the shot, and next thing you know, you're like, I look like a giant turd.
Yeah.
It's very embarrassing.
And at least we didn't lose the game like the A's did.
And you know what? Grubauer played phenomenal besides that. Made some clutch saves even at the end. But the unlikely hero, a guy by the name of Ty Cartier.
Who's that guy?
Pulled up from Coachella Valley, Rookie of the Year, an undrafted kid, just proving how brilliant Ron Francis is. This kid was playing great with Coachella. They brought him up to replace McCann, put him on that line with Eberle and Beniers. And he played great. Not only did he score a goal, but he just played great the entire game, forechecking, working in the corners, like doing everything that you're supposed to do, endearing himself to his teammates, which was awesome. But his goal was pretty awesome. First chance he got to shoot the puck, he puts it behind the net.
Circles the wagons, a shot. Cartier scores! Ty Cartier with his first goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Is this his first ever goal?
First shot, first goal, first time playing in the NHL.
What?
He's a rookie for Coachella. He was Rookie of the Year this season.
Undrafted. An undrafted.
His parents were there.
Wow. What an amazing moment for a kid.
Oh, it was amazing, dude. It was so great to see his mom's rocking the Coachella Valley hat with the Kraken jersey. Everything about it was phenomenal.
Dude, if this kid, if he's Rookie of the Year and actually is something, what an amazing addition from what was a crappy situation.
I could go on forever about Dave Hackstall this season, especially with what he's doing in the playoffs. He adjusts the lines when he doesn't think things are working, and every time he does it seems to work well. You lose McCann, your 40-goal scorer. What do? You bring up this undrafted rookie for the AHL, bring him up into the NHL, and he steps up, and not even if he didn't even score, he looked like he belonged out there on the ice. He's just doing a phenomenal job as coach for the Seattle Kraken. That was a great moment. Gord then scores, making it 3-1. You think everything's good, BJ, right? No, they score it towards the end of the game. It's now 3-2. They pulled their goalie and scored. Those last few minutes were...
Yeah.
My heart was pumping. I don't know about you guys. There was no whistles. It went straight for like 3 or so minutes.
Which actually made me happy, because I hate when there's like whistles, because I'm just like, oh, they're gonna face off, they're gonna win the face off, they're gonna score.
Yeah.
So when it just like wastes time like that, I'm like, all right.
And you can just feel the energy over in Colorado with the fans and just the team. And here's the final few seconds with John Forsland calling it, and you can hear the energy in his voice as well.
Seattle Kraken lead the best of 7 series, 3 games to 2.
Unreal, dude. Unreal.
Yeah, man. I mean, first of all, to win the series, they were going to have to win at least 2 games in a row, so they've done that.
Now they got to win at home at Climate Pledge Arena. Obviously, they don't have to, but let's not give Colorado another chance. In fact, like Yanni Gourde talked to the media afterwards, and man, it just shows like this is why you have guys like Yanni Gourde. This is why you have guys like Vince Dunn, Schwartz as well. Like guys that won the Stanley Cup, they've gone for they have like 7 guys that have won the Stanley Cup on this team. So yeah, it's a new team, but there's a lot of veteran leadership that knows what it takes to go far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And he said, look, 3-2 series lead, winning that 4th game is really hard.
Describe what it's like to be up 3 games to 2. I mean, that's the situation you want to be in the playoff series. You want to be up, and we all know in this league the 4th game is the hardest one to get to win, and it's going to take everything out of everyone in this locker room to get that one. So we know that.
You know Colorado's coming out hard for that.
Oh, yeah.
Makar is back. I mean, losing that guy was huge for them. He's a top defenseman. A defenseman of the year kind of thing. But he did win that. Yeah. And he plays usually like 30 minutes. So you lose that guy. It definitely helped the Kraken in that situation. Which, thankfully, because, they screwed us by us losing our guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's definitely going to be a different game tomorrow.
I do love this text. Someone said, did you see the Morgan Geeky post-game interview last night? If so, what was he reacting to midway through? It looked at the camera and it looked like he said, do you have something to say, Brian? Then continue the interview. I don't know if you saw this.
I didn't.
Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. So he's doing the interview, Morgan Geeky, and Brandon Tanev makes us. I honestly thought that Geeky, when I listened to it because I was driving home and I listened on the radio, I thought he brought his kid into the locker room. Like, that's kind of cool. He just gave birth to a kid and it's already in the locker room because it sounds like a baby noise. But then it turned out it was Brandon Tanev trying to screw him up during the interview. Here's what it sounded like.
How tough is it for you guys to play the aggressive style that you do without taking penalties? It's kind of a fine line between the two. You want to say something, Brandon? Okay.
Nope.
That's hysterical.
Nope. Just making weird dinosaur sounds.
That's
just what I do as a teammate.
That was Turbo doing that.
It's Turbo.
Oh, man.
So you talked about the Kraken again Friday, tomorrow night over at Climate Pledge Arena. Good luck in tickets, but you can also watch it on TV. That's what I'll be doing. Florida, they fought off being eliminated by the Bruins in overtime, winning 4-3. That series is now Boston up 3-2. Tonight, Toronto can wrap it up. They have a 3-1 series lead over Tampa Bay Lightning. Devils and Rangers 2 games apiece. Knights can move on, beating Winnipeg if they do that tonight. They have a 3-1 series lead. Mariners lost, but who cares? Kraken won. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
they blew a lead, man.
Yeah.
J.P. Crawford, he had a grand slam.
Yeah.
Everything was looking good.
Dude, the bullpen, man, I don't understand. I mean, granted, it's a tough place to pitch in, but my gosh.
Still giving up a couple runs in the 8th. J-Rod went deep during the game. You sons of bitches.
Yeah.
I'd be mad, but the Kraken won last night.
There you go, baby.
BJ, you excited about the big draft for the NFL?
Well, yeah, look, there's a quarterback that our buddy Caesar sent me some stats and combine footage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I mean, it's always risky, but if the guy is as good as everybody says he is and we can get him, why not?
He's got some flaws, but Anthony Richardson, that's the guy that they're talking about. He's got a crazy arm. He's a big dude. He's got some strength as well. That's pretty awesome. Obviously, another guy that they're talking about is very polarizing, that Jalen Carter guy, because he's had some issues off the field where he was like drag racing and led to like the death of like a teammate and a coach. Yeah. And also he was showed up out of shape. I was like, but if there's ever a team that could turn somebody's mind around, a young player, it's Pete Carroll, man. And that culture there. I mean, if you think that this guy, because apparently he's just a beast on the field.
Yeah, well, value. If they can get a value draft, unless they really highly value the dude, but you know how they are. They'll take anybody late.
True. Yes. I mean, that could be a guy to go with. And then there's another dude that everyone's talking about is Will Anderson, who's like a really good guy on defense as well, an edge rusher. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a few options out there. You just never know with the Seahawks. But, hey, we don't have to wait very long during the draft to find out because it's the 5th pick. Unless they trade it down and then we have to wait forever.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they also have, the 20th pick as well?
Yeah, that's why, I mean, some people think of it, if they can get a QB in the 20. Yeah, which, I mean, I guess that's not horrible if that can happen. Well, they know what they're doing. I mean, I know what I want.
What do you want?
I want defense and a running back today, but I can understand if they're trying to play for the future.
I'd like someone on defense. I mean, look, I don't know any of these guys, but from what I'm reading, like that Jalen Carter guy, I don't know, man. I'd say you've taken chances with some quote-unquote troubled players before. Bruce Irvin being an example of that.
Yeah. Marshawn Lynch. I mean, these are guys that, came to the Seahawks, and you never heard a peep from them. They just played a great game, and it seemed like they turned their lives around. So that'd be interesting to see how that works out, if he's available, of course. Yeah. And, I mean, running back, I'd like to see them get, kind of a veteran running back. You know what I mean? Obviously not in the draft, but you got somebody a young guy. Stay healthy. All I want to see is somebody stay healthy. Dude, it's the Marshawn Lynch curse, I feel. Ever since Marshawn left the team, they just can't seem to keep a running back healthy. Yeah. Hey, as far as weather, we got 65 degrees. We're going to have a sunny day today. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, Septic, and Mechanical. Thank you for giving us the Migs Report, and that's what's up. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
Brad Pitt plays Achilles in what 2004
Stanford.
film? Yeah, it was.
Damn it. Sorry. Brad Pitt
plays Achilles in what 2004 film?
I don't know any Brad Pitt movies, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to pass. We found out upon further review that we actually know a lot of Brad Pitt movies. Yes, we do. We listed off dozens. Yeah, and we were like, oh, gosh, we're really not giving him the due he deserves because we liked every movie we listed off. I know. Including this one, Troy. That was the one we were looking for. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-803-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 650 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I know if bankruptcy is going to provide me with relief? What are the steps for my situation?
There's so much information out there about bankruptcy with the internet and what people have heard from friends and other people that they've talked to about their financial issues or bankruptcy. There's also a lot of bad information out there or urban legends about bankruptcy. In order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you need to talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy. So in order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you should talk to an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And my job is not to convince you to file bankruptcy. My job is to help you to make that decision and have all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, what benefits it's going to have for you, and what the downside of filing bankruptcy is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
Come on, men, put your backs into it. Captain, you might consider talking to a specialist about your anxiety. I can't do that without a referral from my doctor, and I marooned him on an island. If you have a Pacific Source health plan, Captain, you're not required to have a referral. Pacific Source health plans, you say? Excellent. I've done some of my best work in the Pacific.
No referrals required to see a specialist. Just another way Pacific Source health plans goes beyond what's required. Visit PacificSourceMembersFirst.com.
Hey y'all, it's Garth. I love the country music family. I love the country music family of artists and the country music family of songs. Some of the greatest artists to ever grace music are under the flag of country music. And some of the greatest songs in music history are under the flag of country music. The Big 615, you're going to hear the newest that country music has to offer. At the same time, you're going to hear the newest that the country classics have to offer. I want to hear the new single from George Strait, and I want to hear it right beside the new single from Luke Combs. And I think the country music family is one of those families that is very inclusive and wants both the established artists and the new artists to be side by side in this thing we call country music.
Download the TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. And by the way, yes, it's free. You can also ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Baseball is back, and yes, the Rock Shop has you covered with the KISW baseball tee. There are 2 3/4 sleeve styles you get to choose from, too, man. Apparently, somebody didn't have it on yesterday, but
they did until the 8th inning, and they thought everything was cool, and they threw them in the wash.
We should just send a crate of these T-shirts to the bullpen. Is what we should do.
They're all sharing one shirt. It's not. It's awkward.
Home and away versions of these 3/4 sleeve shirts. Got the Rock logo on there. Baseball, a trident. I mean, look, it's pretty sweet looking, and the color scheme. You know, it's the right baseball color scheme for you. Check them out at the Rock Shop today at KISW.com.
Let's play B Migs. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. B Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. B Migs. You're a loser.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Yeah, we're getting there, man.
I'm very much liking not only the Kraken vibe here, everyone's wearing, but BJ is looking very bright and colorful today, and I'm really liking it.
Well, I have an appointment, so I thought I'd try to at least look good.
Are you going to a luau?
Going to a luau.
Yeah.
How did you know?
It's very, very lively. You seem very festive
right.
and Like you want to hang out in Hawaii with that.
That's what I'm going to do. Going to a luau, you called it.
Nice.
I'm so used to all the dark colors, even dark blue for us. So watching BJ come in with a baby blue shirt.
Oh, it's springtime.
It's just like, boom. Ow, my eyeballs hurt.
We should have like luau Thursdays or something like that. And we all dress like we're going to a luau.
Do you know how many Hawaiian shirts I would break out for that?
I feel like you have more than one.
Oh, I went crazy when I used to go to Hawaii years ago, man. I had Tory Richards store and I still have them. So let me know.
I know. I need to start investing.
I want to go to do a BJ Cribs kind of episode and just do his closet because I am fascinated to see what's in there.
Dude, I had a guy who worked for Price Waterhouse, that big company.
No, I have no idea what Price Waterhouse is.
You know, really?
No.
They're the guys that, they do accounting, and usually their name is mentioned at the Academy Awards. Like, the tolls were tallied by Price Waterhouse.
That would require watching the Academy Awards.
Yeah, anybody who is, in the world of business knows this company. He was a fancy to-do and big numbers people.
Okay.
Basically wore suits all the time. But, Sarah and his kid played together. Well, he got into my closet, which was basically it was a rainbow of ridiculousness. And I wasn't there, but Kathy tells me, he said he stood there. He didn't want to leave. He had never seen a closet like yours before with just all the ridiculous shirts and all of the colors. He was like, I have never been in a men's closet like this. What is this?
Did you trap him in that closet?
Well, he's still there. He wouldn't leave.
It's him and Tom Cruise and John Travolta. It's like a South Park episode.
Oh, okay. But Vicky, you would have a blast in my closet. It's not the typical dude's closet.
One of these days I shall make that video because that'll be fun. But until then, we do have a game to get to. We have Jesse from Redmond. Jesse, are you there?
What's up?
Get out of here.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Jesse has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you do only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is Canada's $2 coin commonly referred to as?
A loon?
No.
Pass.
What type of popular salad was invented by the owner of Hollywood's restaurant, the Brown Derby?
Oh, man. Pass.
The 2017 Despacito remix featured what Canadian pop star?
Can you say that again?
The 2017 Despacito remix featured what Canadian pop star?
Oh, man. Pass.
Every odd number has what letter in it?
Sorry, repeat that.
Every odd number has what letter in it?
N.
No.
A T.
No.
S.
No.
Yeah.
What color are the hearts in the cereal Lucky Charms?
Pink.
Yes. What is between Z and the C on a standard keyboard?
A Z and a C?
Yes. What is between the two on a keyboard?
Oh, W.
No. There's one correct.
Oh my gosh! And by the way, Jesse, you needed to buy something to get that number correct. If you were on Wheel of Fortune, you should buy something to get that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I'm broke, man.
No, I did. Well, I guess you don't watch Wheel of Fortune, but yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, look who's back.
It's me, Yanni Gord.
Yanni Gord is back.
I have high hopes for you today, Steve.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I like to be referred to as Yanni or Gordo.
Oh, all right.
Gordo. Okay.
I'm very excited about this Yanni Gord jersey purchase.
It's so awesome.
Ever since I've owned it, the team hasn't lost.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with superstition. You know, I love that kind of thing.
Yes.
Well, are you ready, Steve? Excuse me, Gordo.
Oh, yeah!
What is Canada's $2 coin commonly referred to
A
as?
loonie.
No.
A toonie.
Yes.
There we go.
What type of popular salad was invented by the owner of the Hollywood restaurant, the Brown Derby?
Tossed.
Caesar?
No.
Cobb?
Yes.
Nice work.
Thank you.
The 2017 Despacito remix featured what Canadian pop star?
Justin Timberlake. Justin Bieber.
Yes.
Nice.
Every odd number has what letter in it?
E?
Yes.
Nice work.
Nice.
What color are the hearts in the cereal Lucky Charms?
They are pink.
Yes. What is between the Z and the C on a standard keyboard?
X?
Yes.
I had my blindfold on, guys.
Yeah, you did.
What is the name of the boy appearing on the Cracker Jack box?
Mikey?
No.
Cracky?
No.
Gordo?
No. Mini, midi, and maxi are all types of what clothing item?
Pads?
No.
Pants?
No.
Bras?
No.
Oh.
What is the number 20 written with Roman numerals?
XX?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Annihilated 7-1.
Oh, Jesse, not your best performance, sir.
No, this game's gotten a lot harder since the ref doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, well,
Well, I mean, with the popular salad, you could have just listed any salads.
Oh, take it easy.
Popular
Take it
salads.
easy.
I'm just trying to give him
Take it easy. I thought it was a very easy game.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly.
Don't take it so personally just because your questions suck, Vicky.
Oh, yeah, they were so hard. Steve couldn't get any of
Vicky,
them.
those were great questions.
is
They
a
were difficult.
cheater.
Only intelligent people could get more than 6 questions right in this game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you keep sassing off, buddy. I'll throw a pen at you.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. It won't on this shirt. We won't notice if it gets hit with it.
I meant to give a shout out, and now I feel good now giving it now because I won, so I don't feel like I had zero pressure now. But I want to shout out to our friend Rose from Tacoma. She texted, said, "Hey, can you play for my son Farron today? He would have been 23 today, but he will forever be 21. He loved Beat Migs. We listened every day together. Goonies never say die from Rose in Tacoma.
Give it a shout.
Shout out to Farron.
Yeah, lots of love to you, Rose, and yeah, shout out to Farron.
Yeah, I know how much you have so much love for your kid, and sometimes you'll chime in with some stuff and some great stories about Farron. So always in our hearts.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of love for you, unfortunately, because you cheated at this game, obviously.
So it's an all right, Migs, you're back.
Yeah.
Is he though?
It's the Gordo jersey, man.
Okay.
Only winners wear it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, again, I really can't argue with that. I'm all for that strategy.
Does anybody know what the name of the boy appearing on the Cracker Jacks box?
Oh, I used to know.
Mikey.
No.
Mikey was it Life?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Mikey will try it. He'll try anything.
Sailor Jerry.
Close. Sailor Jack.
Yeah. I mean, Cracker Jack. Damn it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Damn, you know what? It's in the name of the stuff. I would be so mad at myself.
I probably even would have accepted Jack.
Even though you said Cracker Jack, I thought I was thinking cereal.
Me too.
But how about
of
this?
Apple Jacks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that is the name of the snack. We used to always call it Cracker Jacks because we thought, hey, it's a lot of like multiple things in there. Didn't realize it was named after the kid.
Yeah, because it's Cracker
Think about
Jack.
it, it's Cracker Jack because it's Sailor Jack. He's the Cracker Jack.
It's one of those Mandela effects. You think it's with an S, but no, it is not.
I will not remember that tidbit of information.
It's just like cup of soup. You know, it's cup soup.
Cup
Yep.
soup.
Oh, yeah, so-
Cup soup.
Does anybody know what type of clothing items are mini, midi, and maxi?
Yes. And though, I mean, are there any midi pads out there? That's what I was
Midi,
wondering. Like,
I don't think so.
Like, was Steve accidentally right? But it was skirts, right?
Skirts or dresses.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Steve's like, I'm not unhappy about getting that wrong.
I don't know much about that. I've never heard anyone refer to it, though, as a
Midi.
A midi skirt.
You haven't worked in the Mrs. and Juniors department like I am. You weren't never an expert.
Did you have to wear? Did you go to a school where you had to wear a dress code, like we had to wear? Okay, because I know, like I went to an all boys Catholic
you
high
couldn't
school.
wear mini skirts at your school?
We couldn't, but we had to have collared shirts. But we had like our sister schools, like these all girl Catholic high schools, and they all could wear they had to wear skirts. But they would make it a point. Teachers would bring out rulers and make sure and measure to see that it was X amount of inches from the knee. Because if it went any higher, they would get sent home.
And those would technically, I believe, be a midi skirt because it has to be right below the knee.
Yeah,
So
something
it's
like I think it was
skirt.
2 inches above the knee was okay. Anything more than that was no.
We didn't have a uniform or anything, but you couldn't wear a skirt that was shorter than your fingertips. So if your skirt looked suspect, you had to put your fingertips down and they would measure. And if they didn't go past your fingertips, you had to change.
Well, I would suck if you had long ass arms.
There was a few girls who had really long legs, but they had short arms, so they could get away with wearing tiny skirts. It was kind of funny.
And awkward if you're like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
A little bit.
Dude, one of my most epic moments of my mother fighting for my sister's miniskirt. And they thought they were getting the more reasonable parent on the phone, and they talked to my mother. And this is why I'm the way I am. She would fight every system. Why? Why can't my daughter wear a miniskirt?
Right, who's it hurting?
Yeah, exactly. And this was in the 60s when, of course, they really were no, that's not going to happen. Yeah. This is sacrilege. It just goes to show you how far we've come. When you see how women get to dress today compared to when I grew up, where, my God, the mini skirts were oh, no, you are heathen and you're going to the bad place. And my mom was one of the people that stood up, and it was so funny what my mom would get pissed off about. Kind of like me. You go okay, you're fighting over this.
Yeah.
But I
loved
her.
So we have her to thank.
Yeah, I was her protege, man, because she used every colorful word in the book.
So we definitely have her to thank.
And my poor father, they used to ask for him, and he's I don't want to talk about the kids in school, but they go, you don't understand, we do not want to talk to your wife. You're the one we have to talk to.
Man after my own heart. I don't know how to deal with this. Talk to my wife.
Yeah, and they're no, we're not talking to your wife.
Game's on right now.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, such a great time in my life. I still remember my mom just losing. I'm you're the lady I will aspire to be. All right, congratulations to my mom and me.
Well, good to see that you keep her spirit alive.
I really do. You know, every time I fight over something, just remember, you know what? She gets her...
For Mom.
Hey, that's right, baby. There was a town that came up with a great way to handle annoying parents at Little League games. And I'll tell you what they did at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. There's a town in New Jersey that has implemented a new rule that if you argue with a Little League umpire, you need to ump 3 games before you're allowed to come back as a spectator.
I love this.
Great idea.
That's brilliant.
Man,
Until you know the plight, you shouldn't be bitching.
Dude, I will tell you, man, this is great. Dawn, the town's Little League president and parent named Caitlin, here they are talking about this new rule.
They're coming here, they're being abused, they don't need that, so they're walking away. You're not allowed to come onto our complex until you complete 3 umpire assignments. Once you do that, then we'll let you come back.
If the parents are going to be sitting there yelling the whole entire game, they might as well use that energy like out on the field.
Dude, I love Don. Don looks like, man, he looks like kind of a throwback to the 70s, dude. Look at him. He's got the bandana, the ponytail. He's like, hey, man.
Yeah, if he told me he wrestled Jesse the Body Ventura back in 1970-something, I'd be like, I believe it, brother.
Yeah.
He has that kind of vibe to him.
Yeah, he looks great, and it's a great idea. You want to be a pain-in-the-ass parent? You got to ump 3 games before we let you back in. A great idea.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
So there's a town that's forcing. They're forcing annoying parents to be umps at Little League games. So based on this, we want to know, what is your Little League or youth sports horror story? Yep, the craziest thing that you have witnessed at a kid's game. Oh, man. Oh, I know there's a lot of them. I've witnessed a few of them myself. 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. What is your Little League or youth sports horror story? The craziest thing you've witnessed at a kid's game. We got your calls and texts after Shinedown.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's something that we all know as kids and parents when you see annoying parents at kids' games. And I love this one town that says, hey, if you're going to be an annoying parent, in order for you to get back and watch any kid's Little League game, you must ump at least 3 games, and then we'll let you back in as a spectator. So based on this, we want to know, what is your Little League or youth sports horror story? What's the craziest thing you witnessed at a kid's game? 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. Let's go to Heather. Heather, you are on The Rock.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Heather. Welcome to the show. What you got for us?
So my stepson, he was a good pitcher, and he pitched the whole game, and the other coach thought it was against the rules, but it wasn't. We went in the rule book, and it wasn't. And he actually grabbed out his gun.
Wait, what? The coach pulled out a gun because your kid was pitching a complete game.
Yes, exactly.
What? That's
the right way to handle things.
And that's the coach. It's not even a crazy parent. It's a... Wow.
And then my son blamed himself for the longest time. He thought it was his fault. And I'm like, no, Kyler, it's not your fault.
Well, that's the weirdest thing where all of a sudden you blame yourself for a parent being an idiot. Boy, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, man, wow. That is, okay. Well, that's extreme.
How about this one? My dad embarrassed me in the Little League. He got into a fight with the other coach. My dad was our coach. I was up and I got hit with a pitch. It hurt, but I wasn't mad at the pitcher because, well, he was my friend, and I know it wasn't on purpose. Well, my dad started yelling at the other coach saying, get some effing control of your SC pitcher. Next thing you know, he speared the coach like Goldberg and unloaded on him. It took 3 other parents to pull my dad off of that coach.
Yeah, see,
again, what was wrong with what he did?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you saw how your father handled Santa Claus,
dude.
So you know that it's fine.
My dad was, I wouldn't say he was a good dad when it came to like little league sports. For the most part, he never showed up. He didn't care. Like my mom went and did all that, but he would go for the hockey games, like because I played it on a roller league in New York, in Brooklyn, New York, and it was cool because they set it up like a ice rink, had boards. It was outside, but it was like a full checking, which is kind of crazy to think about now. Like we were like kids, like, and we're doing full checking, basically landing on pavement, and it was like a fight club, but. Other parents would get so mad if like because kids are hitting like open ice or open floor hits, and parents would jump over the boards and attack the other kids. It got so bad that they built a giant fence around the boards that was about, I'd say 15 feet high. And to make sure that like parents would not get onto the rink, when we were playing. And then one parent climbed the fence and still did it. It was insane, dude.
See, it's nice to know that back then people were, pretty much unreasonable, just like today.
But I remember thinking, like, as a kid, we're like, it's no different than when we talked about Action Park, and I was like shocked when I started to realize just how dangerous that park was. But I used to go there all the time as a kid. I feel like a documentary could be made about Kings Bay hockey, and it was just like this total free for all where you let children have full check hockey, like where it's like, and it is like it was dirty.
How old were you?
I mean, from 10 on.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I know they always said, hey, we're not going to have kids get too physical until a certain age.
Yeah, I mean, and like you could like still like lay, but these were like just full on like murder scenes sometimes. Like guys were coming in with their sticks up high, cross checking. It was like the Wild West out there. And then add on to it the crazy parents jumping the boards to fight the kids.
Yeah, that's just not right.
Oh man, but it was awesome.
206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. Let's go to Karen in Port Orchard. Karen, you are on the Rock.
Hi.
Hi, Karen. How about you? Craziest thing you witnessed at a kid's game?
Well, my son, like I was saying earlier to the guy, they're both Marines now, but when they were in Little League, my son had a grandfather that was from the other team. He was so obnoxious through the entire game. One of our kids grabbed his crotch. He immediately started screaming at the kids and yelling, swearing at our kids.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets kicked out of the game, and the other team, we're teaching our kids, hey, shake their hand, say good game, no matter what the team is like. So they're shaking the team's hand. The other team all spit in their hand before they shook my son's
Oh, there you go. That's
team.
it.
Can you believe that?
Well, you know what?
You know what? Actually, I can, and that's sad. But no, it's not right.
Yeah.
No. I mean, what does that teach the kids? Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's, again, it's
sportsmanship.
Like, that's what, But the adults, man, I just feel like as an adult, kids are going to be kids, but if you act like that, then they're going to go, well, I guess it's okay for us to act like this, as opposed to someone's got to have some sort of decorum. Mm-hmm. I mean, grandpa, you can't be swearing. And I remember my buddy, his mom was that way. He used to embarrass the hell out of him. He was so frustrated at his mother when he played hockey. He would I wish she wouldn't come. And that's the thing I don't think parents realize is, what are you doing to your kids?
Yeah, I never want to be that. I don't know if Tatum's going to get into sports much. Like right now, obviously ballet is maybe a little bit, I don't know, maybe I'll start yelling and screaming at the ballet kids. Like,
yeah, that's kind of...
What kind of pirouette was that?
Yeah, I've never seen that. You would be the first. I've never seen anybody lose it at a recital, but okay.
Get kicked out. But I never want to be that parent that like puts that weird pressure on the kid that oh man, I hope my dad doesn't act like a fool. Like I'm just going to be in the back, like probably tearing up, just like happy to see her do anything.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Vicky, didn't your dad lose it when he was watching you play sports?
Yeah. So when we became teenagers, our coach decided, I don't want to deal with these girls. So my dad stepped up and became our coach.
Like little kickers.
Yeah. And yeah, it was tough because my dad's a very chill dude. However, when soccer is involved, that goes out the window. And we played a game against these girls that were just horrible. They kept pushing, kicking, doing all these illegal things to us. And some of the girls on my team were getting pissed to the point where they ended up getting red carded for fighting back. The ref wasn't calling any of these. My dad gets pissed. and goes up to the ref like nose to nose, like Lou Piniella vibes.
Nice.
Just yelling at him. And he gets red carded and kicked off for 2 games.
Oh, the coach gets red
My
carded.
dad got kicked out.
So who takes over, Mom?
No, so the old coach kind of felt bad. And he's like, okay, well, if you're going to be the coach, I'll be your assistant. So he had to take over for 2 games.
Damn, dude.
He's like, I just don't want to deal with these teenage girls by myself. They're just too much.
Man.
But yeah, so my easy, chill dad, and if you're listening right now, which you might be.
What's up, Juan?
Yeah, he goes all out for soccer.
I feel like that's legitimate, though, if you're playing. I mean, if the coach is seeing that for some reason the ref is just sleeping on. I don't know. That's a tough one, but I mean, if in fact you guys are getting brutalized out there.
Yeah.
Look, straight up, your dad was in the right. He gives me fruit snacks. He's never in the wrong.
Oh, I had thought about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, as an adult, I can see he's never in the wrong.
206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. Let's go to Mike in Covington. Mike, you are on the Rock.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Okay, crazy thing you ever saw kids sports. What is it?
Well, I was actually involved in it, but I coached little kids flag football for 15 years back in the 80s, 90s.
Oh, and you were involved in a weird thing. What happened?
I got on the refs a little bit too hard, so the park and rec guy said, next year we don't really want you to coach.
Oh, wow. Why do I feel like, Mike...
let me finish.
Oh,
so he said,
BJ.
You're a great coach, but the only way we're going to let you coach again is if you referee for a year.
So, Mike, the way you're talking to me, you sound like a pretty chill guy. I have a feeling you weren't a chill guy when you were a coach talking to the refs.
Oh, I was just a little younger,
Hey, so what was that year like? What did you enjoy being a ref, or was it just pure misery?
You get a feel for what they go through because about halfway through the season, one of the players' dads called me out to the parking lot to have a little fisticuffs.
Gosh!
Wow. Okay, because of how you called the game.
Yeah. So I was just trying to get to my car and get away, and he kept kind of getting in front of me and egging me on. And then finally I just turned around and his wife and kid were following him. I said, look, if you really want me to kick your ass in front of your wife and kid, let's go.
There we go.
Awesome. Ref justice.
Ref justice, baby.
You know, it's funny. That's why my mom got kicked out of a game one time before.
Because she fought Mike?
Yeah, she fought Mike.
Yeah,
it was
she's
crazy.
like, I'll show you, Mike.
No, she was yelling. We were at a soccer game, and she started screaming at the refs and telling, she pulled off her glasses and was like, clearly you can't see anything. But it was a high school
That's a great
soccer
line,
game.
though. I think you've got
That's a good chirp.
Yeah, that really is a good chirp.
It was my cousin's game. I didn't play sports, but it was my cousin's game, and all my aunts and uncles were like, all right, get Linda out of here.
Damn it, Linda.
Yeah, right?
That's unfortunate because that, like you said, Steve, that's clever.
It was really good.
You guys are ref. You got to go, all right, lady.
Especially Danny's mom's a cute mom. She's like,
Yeah.
She's feisty, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. Let's go to Steve in Kirkland. Steve, you are on the Rock.
Great name.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing today?
Really? It's a great name, Steve.
It is a great name.
Yeah. All right, Steve. So what happened at a kid's sporting event?
Well, the parents got together because they were unhappy with the conditions of the playing surface. Yes.
Yeah, you're my favorite guy. If I'd have known it was you on the phone, I might not have taken this call. But you go ahead.
Really?
Okay, yeah.
Because I was going to drop off a Van Halen marquee poster that I had for you.
CBJ.
Jeez. I heard you were a big fan. So.
He's a huge fan.
Well, Steve is a huge fan. If you would maybe put some Top Pot donuts with that, then I would be happy.
BJ's Top Pot donuts. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, BJ likes donuts.
Yeah, Steve wants the Van Halen poster.
I know a guy. But
so,
yeah,
Steve, it's going to be surprising to me, but somehow you were involved in one of the most amazing whatever it is that's ever happened in history of the world.
Well, no, it wasn't that amazing. It was just that the parents were unhappy with the Parks Department because they weren't doing much work on the fields for the kids, and so the beginning of the season, they had done a bunch of work, and they switched out the foam rubber corner pilings in the end zones, and they put in 4x4 posts so they wouldn't get stolen.
Okay,
like putting them away didn't seem good enough, and nobody knew about it. None of us kids did, but I intercepted a pass and tried to dive into the end zone, and when I hit that, it pushed my my pinky finger back up through the back of my hand.
There's no give.
Yeah, it's absolutely no give. And then everybody, there was a big throw up session because they all got sick. But yeah, it was a really bad incident.
Oh my
and
gosh,
I still bear the scars today.
So how's your finger?
It sticks out from the rest of my fingers, so it's like how do the Spock thing.
Oh,
well, I do it with my baby finger. It sticks out, and it's great if you're a tea drinker. Would love this finger, but besides that, I don't think so.
I bet ladies love it too, huh?
Yeah, something like that. But I would like to mention that the lady that called in about her son pitching.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Well, I pitched for the Coast League team in Kirkland when I was a kid, and when we went to the state finals, I was forced off the mound because there was red, white, and blue inside the pocket of my mitt.
Yeah,
and they said that was a violation of the rules, and therefore I couldn't pitch.
Yeah,
and so that's how
you have
petty
zero
people
interest.
can be.
Oh, I hate Steve.
Steve, I love you, man. Steve, I love you.
You know what? What was it? What were the name of those donuts? I'm gonna have to work this out.
No, I'm not. Now that I told you I hate you, I will not take any food merchandise from you ever.
Because who knows where you're going to put something into that donut hole.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I do. I'm taking a KISW banner that I got from one of your gigs. One of the guys gave me.
Nice.
And I'll take it down to the Beach Life Festival. I'm going to do that in Redondo here at the beginning of May.
Yep.
And I'll take some photos of all the fun stuff.
That'll win him over.
Just for your morning show.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, I do appreciate you going to Redondo.
We'll make it fun for you, and we'll try and document a little bit of the work we do, and we'll include you in it. And there you go.
Steve, you're a good man.
We'll work on our relationship, okay?
I appreciate that, Steve.
Steve, it's an uphill battle, I feel. BJ doesn't like you one bit.
But Steve loves you.
But I think you're fantastic.
You got to have to
keep rocking, brother.
Yeah, there you go. Get down to Redondo with the KISW banner, which does us absolutely no good.
If anyone could see the body language in this studio, the moment you realize it was Steve, and it was a good call. Like, that was actually a good story.
Was it?
I liked it.
I did not.
I liked it.
It was better than most.
Here's the thing. What's the thing you witnessed at a sporting event? Everything involving me, Steve.
Well, yeah.
I mean, other people
to share stories about
other
themselves.
people talked about other stuff that they saw. It
so
wasn't
you
they
feel
were
he's being selfish.
Oh my, he's the rock of phone callers. It's just like it's always about Steve.
I could just see like you just have such tension, and you hate. If he takes like even a little bit of a pregnant pause, I just hear you go, I can't stand this guy.
Yeah,
and look at the poor guy. All he's trying to do is win you over. You tell him that you hate him, and he's like, "I'll buy you donuts."
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, because you know what's going to be in those donuts, don't you? Human DNA.
I cannot confirm or deny that. You tell him that you hate him, and he's like, "I'll take your banner and take it to another state and take pictures of it."
That's great. I don't know what that does for me.
Everything.
Everything? You know, it does nothing. If you take it out, if he took this banner in our own state, basically in Western Washington, that would be helpful. But down in Redondo, what's that going to get me?
He's just trying to endear himself to you.
I just think that Steve's Steve, and you love him, so hey, half the show loves him. I'm not going to, I just feel like next time he calls, I might let you handle it. I might go get a cup of coffee. And
I don't want to talk to him.
Oh, you don't talk to him?
No, I'm entertained by how much he pisses you off.
That's the only reason I know. I see the look on your face and you go, God, it's Steve. This is going to be great.
I think it's going to be fantastic. He never disappoints.
No, he does not. Well, this might be the strangest piece of memorabilia that you can own, but a mustache comb of an iconic rock star is going up for auction. I'll tell you who it belonged to at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Superstart battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey y'all, it's Garth, the Big 615. You're going to hear the newest that country music has to offer. At the same time, you're going to hear the newest that the country classics have to offer. I want to hear the new single from George Strait, and I want to hear it right beside the new single from Luke Combs. That's the thing we call the Big 615.
Download the free TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. Or ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, listen, if you're a big fan of Queen, you really love the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, this is for you. About 1,500 items that once belonged to Freddie Mercury, who, of course, was the frontman for Queen. They are going up for auction. And there's a lot of cool stuff there if you're a collector, which makes me think Jim Irsay is probably going to try to get some of these, right?
Now Paul's no longer with us, unfortunately. Paul Allen, he's the guy. He's the rich football owner that wants to buy all the rock and roll memorabilia.
I love the way
he's a Colts owner.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, he's famous for basically, just like Paul Allen was famous for collecting a lot of rock stuff. And I love when they go, there's never before seen items that'll be at this auction, which is amazing to me that people had these and just said, okay, I'll release them now. So basically, there's handwritten draft lyrics to "We Are the Champions."
Okay,
that's cool.
I would always love to have in possession of like lyrics to a song that I love that was like the handwritten by the person who wrote it. You know, that'd be pretty cool to have.
Yeah, I guess I would be that way for some sort of favorite TV show or movie to have like the script.
Or like some people love cartoons, like you have like that little like whatever, like the cartoon.
The
cell. Yeah. Like to have the lyrics, have it framed and put it up like in like some kind of a music room would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. How about this? How about the tiny Tiffany and Company mustache comb that he had?
I mean, people collect the weirdest stuff.
All right.
Look, if you told me, hey, would you like Eddie Vedder's comb that he uses on his hair? I'd be like, no. I would.
Yeah, I'm not like I want something from their body kind of guy.
Yeah, like the people who are like, oh, that person took a swig of water from that water bottle. Can grab it and I want it. Like I'm not planning on making a clone of Freddie Mercury. Like, why do I need that?
Yeah,
I guess it's a conversation starter.
Yeah, I don't want that. Like, like Lars used to wash his taint with this. I don't want that. No,
now I wash mine with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm brushing my mustache with Freddie Mercury's mustache.
That's just weird to me. It's like, no.
Right, the handwritten lyrics, absolutely. Like, if it was like Eddie Vedder, like, hey, you want a comb, or would you like Eddie Vedder's like handwritten lyrics to one of your favorite Pearl Jam songs? I'd be like, I'd much rather that.
Oh, yeah. Or the crazy little thing called Love Guitar.
That's cool, too.
That would be awesome. Mary Austin, who was a close friend of Freddie, she inherited the home he lived in and all of its contents. And she's been living there since he passed away in November of 91. She's now 72 years old, and she's like, okay, I'm ready to part with these items. And here she is talking about that.
I've decided to sell because I need to put my affairs in order. And in order to do that, I felt that I needed to sell Freddie's collection in my lifetime.
That makes sense. I kind of am feeling that way myself about life. I think the older you get, the more you go, you know what, I got to do something with all this stuff and get it in the hands of people who really want it, because it's not serving me anymore.
So when she says affairs, get her affairs in order, is she just basically saying, I want some more money?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just say that.
Yeah, but you know what? Hold on.
Like, I'm going to make a boat ton of money off of this stuff that's just been sitting in my closet. I should just get rid of it.
When you hear affairs in order, though, what I hear of is that somebody could be dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Oh, so you think she's like knocking on heaven's door kind
That's
of a
what
thing? I don't know how to say.
Well, if it was a Queen song, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, she's dying. She wants to get all the money so that way she can put it in her will to give out to people.
I respect that.
Which
Okay.
really is sad if that's the case. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what usually affairs in order means to me.
So then it's kind of cool that she's been keeping it all this time, not trying to profit off of it. I guess she could leave it to people.
Yeah,
But
like an
maybe she's just
inheritance.
they don't want to deal with this. It's too much to deal with. It's a huge collection.
And it's probably sentimental to her because she was such a good friend. Whereas if she gives it out to other people, it's like, they don't really have the connection she had with
I
Freddie.
love her
Knows
for
the
this.
value of it.
Yeah.
Instead of leaving me the collection, leave me the money that you got from the collection. I
Makes it a
love
lot
her for
easier.
that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to worry about who wants Freddie's mustache comb. Like what? I don't know what to do with this.
For all you know, you wouldn't even realize what it was, and you throw it away.
Yeah. I'd be so mad at her if I wasn't a Queen fan. What the hell is this? You left me a mustache? What the?
And what's this weird vest? I saw Vicky was scrolling through, and there was a weird Freddie Mercury vest that she also has in her possession.
Apparently, it was his favorite. They call it waistcoat, worn in his final performance, and it has a bunch of different cats. Which he was a huge cat lover. I'm assuming these are all his cats
There's
painted
6
on a
cats on it.
Nice.
painted on a vest. It is phenomenal.
That is a great vest. That's a Vicky vest right there.
Oh, my
Vicky
God.
wants that.
That's definitely a Freddie Mercury vest.
Yes.
Here's Mary. Now we're trying to really figure out why she's doing this, and Mary said, "You know what, idiots? Why don't you just let me tell you why?"
The only things I'm keeping are the personal gifts that he gave me. I decided that it wouldn't be appropriate for me to keep things back. If I was going to sell, I had to be brave and sell the lot.
Oh.
And so that's the story. There is, I mean, I got a lot of respect for that. I think I remember her name being mentioned somewhere where she was a really good friend of his.
She was in the movie.
Oh, so she was the woman.
Yeah, she's the woman in the movie.
Oh.
That he
What a
marries
trip.
and everything, yeah.
What a trip for her to know that's her relationship with him has been put into a film.
Yeah.
That's got to be surreal.
Yeah.
Well, it was. And when you watch the movie, you realize he loved her as much as you could love somebody. But of course, as far as a physical thing, it was like Freddie's like,
into her,
look,
yeah.
I'm not going that way. But he definitely loved her tons, and she got that.
Yeah.
And I think, wow, that's fantastic. Well, and Mary, good on you.
Well, if you're in the same mode, BJ, can I just have your house now?
You know what? Sarah wants the house. Why does everybody want my stupid house?
I don't want your house.
Thank you, Steve. You know what? It's because you got a nice joint. You don't need my house.
I want your sweet luau shirt that you're wearing.
All right. If you could fit, actually, you could fit into this, so you should be fine. Dude, I've got some, if this is true, this is kind of breaking and tough news for a lot of us in this generation, man.
I know. I just saw this morning, and it kind of it's trending on Twitter as well. We're getting some tweets and messages about it, so
Yeah.
it looks like it is true.
According to TMZ, Jerry Springer, one of the most influential and controversial figures in television history, has died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 27 years he hosted the Jerry Springer Show. And, of course, Jerry. I feel like maybe it was a month ago we had audio of him about some reason, or maybe I heard an interview with him. So this is such a shock to me that he's gone. Apparently, according to a family spokesperson, he was battling a brief illness, but other people are saying it was pancreatic cancer, which is that pancreatic cancer is a bitch. And he was diagnosed a few months ago, and in that short time took a turn for the worse, and Jerry Springer apparently has passed away.
Man, I love the Jerry Springer Show. Obviously I'm a wrestling fan, so I don't let the truth get in the way of a good television show. I know that show is a little bit
yeah.
But I remember watching a documentary about the producers of the Jerry Springer Show. It was like a docuseries or a reality show that was like on VH1 or something along those lines. And I thought it was fascinating if this was true, and I don't know if it was or if maybe eventually it stopped being true. But according to the producers, Jerry had no idea that any of this stuff was maybe like flying in like these actors or people were like pretending to be things that they weren't. They presented everything to Jerry Springer like it was legitimate, and then that way Jerry would react accordingly. Like he wasn't a part of
brilliant,
right? And I think I'm sure at some point he's like, yeah, this is just ridiculous, but he still went along with it because it made for great television. He was a ratings bonanza at one point, beating out Oprah, but. You know, I love the idea of them just throwing ridiculousness at him, and he's not even aware of what's about to happen.
Yeah. And his show, last one, went off the air in 2018.
He just had the best fights on there and the best premises and stories.
And he was a politician, which, you know, I in some way, I think he did the world a favor just showing that really you've got to be also a carnival barker to be a successful politician. You know, you really got to be almost like a circus performer in some cases. And Jerry Springer, you know, no doubt about it, man, he created a genre of television.
Yes.
Yeah. And
it was red hot for many years. Sorry.
Yeah, and also was in our business. He hosted a folk music show on a radio station in Cincinnati, which I think was his hometown.
So imagine that's what you're like. It's kind of adorable in a sense. I mean, he goes from being like this shock TV host, all these insane things happening on this show that were just like, what in the hell? How'd you find these people? To like eventually he wraps up his media career playing folk music.
I know. He's like, here's some Bob Dylan.
Like, I went from the most extreme to the most chill.
Yeah. Well, and that just goes to show you that a lot of these dudes that, you know, whatever, they have these shocking personas, shocking roles, and when you get to be with them and see who they are when the mic is off, you would be surprised. I mean, you know, I was always surprised that Maynard from Tool was like the big thing he was passionate about was wine and winemaking. Yep. And that goes for the old broadcaster Tom Likas. I mean, you know, when you visited him, there was never any conversation about anything ever on his show. He would love to talk about the stock market and talk about wine. That was all Tom ever wanted to talk about. And you're like,
that's why I never talked to him.
Yeah, it was weird. It was just like, you are totally not the person that you are on the radio.
Man. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, really. Well, let me tell you about grapes instead of boobies.
So here's then the question.
Yeah.
Do you consider, if you're making a Mount Rushmore of TV talk show hosts?
Oh, whoa.
Does Jerry Springer get to be on that Mount Rushmore? Right?
It has to be.
I feel like there's really not many. He started, if he didn't start it, he made it massively successful, like this outrageous television talk show.
I got 3 of the 4.
Okay.
I got Jerry, I got Oprah, and I got to throw Phil Donahue on there. Because I think he was like one of the first ever to really do that kind of a thing where he had a show like that.
Now, how do we work this? Do we include late night talk shows? Or is it just daytime?
No, it's got to be daytime. Yeah, if you do late night, it's impossible to.
So you had Jerry, you had Donahue, and you have Oprah?
Yeah, those are my big 3. The 4th one would be tough for me. Ooh,
I know things ended kind of weird, but man, she had a great run. If we're just talking about daytime TV talk show hosts.
Who was bigger, though, for their time, Ellen or Rosie? Rosie O'Donnell's show was huge back when Rosie was the queen.
Ellen was big, yeah.
Ellen had a longer run.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah, I think. Don't quote.
See, that's the thing. I don't know. You guys.
I feel like Ellen's been around forever.
Yeah, Rosie was amazing. Rosie, I think if there's no Ellen if there's no Rosie. That's the problem. So it's so hard to tell. There's no Ellen if there's no Rosie.
And that's part of why you have Donahue on there.
But
there's really no TV talk shows without. I mean, no one even on the show other than you and I probably even know who the hell Donahue was, and I barely remember him. But he was boring. But like he was like a popular talk. I mean, boring for me as a kid.
Yeah,
you know, I'm sure people clearly loved him because he was a daytime TV talk show host forever.
He may not deserve to be on there, but I'm trying to think of anybody else.
Without him, there was no Oprah.
Yeah. According to Wikipedia, and I don't know if it's true, it says there was only 1 season of the Rosie Show.
What, Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah,
no, she was on for a long time.
I'm seeing it, and it's saying that it was 6 seasons.
You might be thinking of like a sitcom or something.
Yeah, she had a sitcom, the Rosie O'Donnell Show, which was a daytime variety show.
Only 6?
Yeah, I had 6 seasons from '96 to 2002.
You got to give it to Ellen then. At that point.
Rosie might have paved the way, but Ellen took it and went further with it.
I can't argue with the fact that you got to give it to Ellen then.
It was a evening television talk show, the Rosie Show, on the Oprah Winfrey Network. That's right.
All right.
Then there was, what was there, Ricky Lake?
Yeah.
What was the lady with the red glasses?
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yes.
My mom loved that.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Sally is definitely an honorable mention. I don't know if she gets that 4th spot.
What
or
about
she
Robert Downey Jr.?
He had a
Oh my God!
Not Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah,
I was like, who?
And I said it with such like disdain,
dude. He was the first. Remember, he faked his own attack.
Yes.
And nowadays, I would believe that somebody from any political party who like is really fired up about their political party would beat somebody up. I believe anybody would do that today. But back then, he was a conservative leaning guy trying to allege that a liberal dude would punched him out in the bathroom. Which at the time you're like, that's not liberal style. They're not the physically violent people. Now that was back then. And nowadays, anybody I think is capable of anything.
And then it was him that faked that, and then also Geraldo. Remember, he faked that he got attacked by somebody. I think it was by Nazis or something like that.
Yeah.
And he went to and he said they painted the swastika on me, but it was backwards, and people realized that he did it in a mirror.
Yes.
And that's how he got busted.
So
I could be wrong about exact details, but yeah.
Yeah, Geraldo and Morton Downey Jr.
Or was that Morton Downey Jr.? I can't remember which one did that.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember either, but Morton Downey definitely was he was busted.
Insane.
He was busted for that whole thing.
He looked like when you watch him, you're like, he might just have a heart attack at any given moment. Like, he was so wound up.
Yeah. He was definitely, I don't know, how long was he on for?
I'd say maybe 5 years, if that. It was a meteoric rise, but it crashed quick soon
Where do you put Maury in all this? Because he's not the father guy.
Yeah, a lot of dads probably won't want to put him on the list.
See, I was thinking, when you said Mount Rushmore, I saw someone tweet the Mount Rushmore of TV shows you watched when you were homesick from school, and definitely Maury and Jerry Springer on this list. And then when I was even younger, Jenny Jones.
Yeah,
I used
Jenny,
to watch her show a lot.
She deserves definitely. You should talk about her, but like Ricky Lake, like Sally Jesse. I mean, I don't know. It's tough.
Dr. Phil, someone just brought up on the text line.
Oh boy, is that a good call? And another creation of the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Yeah, hell, you go with Steve Wilkos, or he was a security guy for Jerry.
Dr. Oz.
It was Morton Downey Jr. that did the swastika.
It was him. Okay, it wasn't Geraldo.
And they were like, dude, what the hell? Poor Geraldo. Geraldo's the only thing he's known for is that there was nothing in Al Capone.
That's what he did.
That was all Geraldo.
Well, didn't he also tweet some very scandalous or accidentally send some very scandalous text pictures or whatever?
Well, look at Vicky. That's all she cares about.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to see body parts, bitch.
I really did not want to see his.
So, I know the first two. I mean, Jerry and Oprah belong in the Mount Rushmore. Phil, you could argue
I'd leave
about.
out Phil.
And then I don't know who the last two could be.
I go Jerry, Oprah, Maury, Ellen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maury's great, but I think I would put Phil before Maury, but that's arguable. And Ellen, I suppose she does belong on there probably because out of all of the daytime hosts that did that kind of show that she does, she was the most popular. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you that. I'll give you Ellen. That fourth spot between Phil and Maury, I don't know.
I'm glad we didn't incorporate nighttime hosts because it would have
been a beating.
How do you narrow it down to four?
I mean, pretty much at that point, you just
too stressful.
You can't. You got to go Carson. You got to go Letterman.
See,
oh boy, you could definitely go Conan or Jay, and you're done.
Ooh, Carson, Letterman for sure.
Yeah, and then you got to go. I mean, and then for some of the older folks, they might go Steve Allen since he was the guy that started the Tonight Show.
Those people are dead. They don't.
Here we go. There we go. All righty. We got a woman that stopped another woman at the gym to reprimand her for what she was wearing. Oh, do you love it when ladies police other ladies? We have the audio. You're going to hear it at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit Max.com.
At Columbia College, you can invest in your future without sacrificing today. Online, in-class, and virtual options save you time and money. Take the first step toward earning your accredited degree. Classes start soon. Learn more at yourfuture.ccis.edu.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. All right, this is a good one. You want to check out this video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. It's got a 21-year-old Utah woman filming herself doing chest presses at the gym when a random woman approaches and reprimands her for dressing inappropriately. She was wearing a sports bra, which I think is appropriate, right?
I saw the story and I instantly clicked to see the outfit, and it's I can't believe somebody even thought that this was cool to go up to someone and say, not that, honestly, like, short of being in there buck naked, like, I mean, we see people in bikinis on a beach. Yeah, I don't care what you're wearing in a gym, as long as, like, you're not, like, I mean, I wouldn't even care if you were naked, honestly, as long as you're not, like, hovering over me, or, like, especially if it's a dude and his sausages, like, as I'm trying to spot me or something.
This is a very specific rules that you have.
That's my only rule. Don't spot me when your sausage is hanging out.
Okay, well, all right then. You know what I mean?
What she's wearing is harmless.
Yeah, I am clueless to the fact. I mean, yeah, look, she is a woman that's definitely got a very good, upper body. I'm going to give her that.
She got a very good everybody.
Yeah,
she's a smoke show.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like she's wearing anything that's. I mean, she's just wearing what you wear to the gym. And here's this woman that comes up to her anyway and tells her, like, "Hey, dude, you shouldn't be wearing that."
Your top. Do you really think you can walk around the gym wearing that? My top? Your boobs are hanging out. We're in a public place. Can you be respectful? Are you kidding me? No, we're in a public place. Do you not see everyone around you? No, I'm going to look at your face and I'm fine, thank you. Well, I don't pick you up. Okay, bye. Well, let's put a shirt on this time.
He says, "Can you be more respectful?" As you're
in a public place,
disrespectful towards this woman.
Yeah, and she's wearing. I mean, she's showing a little cleavage, but who doesn't do that in public? I mean, everybody wears stuff to show off a little cleavage from time to time, especially if you go to any formal event. Yep. You know, that's here's the thing. I'm going to just say,
man.
I haven't seen what this woman looks like, but I'm going to say this woman's jealous.
Oh, I would 100% agree to that.
Or maybe she goes with her husband, and
her husband's like
a looky-loo
and he's drooling.
Yeah, at that point, reprimand the husband. What are you doing?
Babe, all right, back. I'm going to go ask that girl if she needs a spot.
Yeah.
She's drinking from the water fountain. I know, but she might need help with that.
Yeah, I've got messages for every woman out there that gets mad at their husband when they happen to see somebody who's attractive, especially the older you get. It just happens, okay? Shocker, Betty Crocker. It happens. It's not like he's a horrible guy. Look up science and look up and realize that's just what male brains do. But if he's not a jerk and he's not inappropriate and he doesn't flirt with her, I mean, so what if he says, "Oh, hey," in his own brain, just looks at an attractive woman? It happens.
Well, also, like, I mean, going in the gym, there are definitely women that you can tell, like, they have full makeup on. It's like, but I'm not, like, going to be mad about, like, if you want, that's how you go out.
That's how you do.
Whatever. There was one time that was kind of funny, and it was like nothing like, it wasn't disrespectful, or it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what she was wearing. But like, sometimes people go to the gym, guys and girls, and they have multiple layers on. And as they work out and they build up a sweat, they start stripping the layers off.
Okay.
So I was on like the bench, and I was doing my workout, and I sit up, and as I sit up, this girl was doing something, I guess, right in front of me. I didn't realize it because I was laying back and doing my stuff. As I sit up, she's stripping down her pants off, and it's like almost like as if she's mooning me. Because I sit up, and her butt's right in my face. And I'm like, I was not expecting this, so I didn't know what to do. So I just laid right back down. It's like,
you mean it was like you saw a full butt?
No,
okay.
She had tights on, like a tight pair of shorts.
Oh, all right.
But they were super bright pink. And but it was like,
but still,
you sit up, you just like wasn't, because I wasn't anticipating that. And I had a couple of random dudes come up and just like, did I just see what I thought? I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, it wasn't like anything bad or like we weren't like, oh, sweet butt. But like, it was just like, dude, whoa, okay. Wasn't expecting this.
Here's what you have to know as a man. And I would say also as a woman, if you ever walked a beach? I walk a beach a lot, obviously, when I'm down in California. And this is how it is.
Everywhere.
There are butts everywhere. And look, there are young butts everywhere. Like,
there are young butts everywhere.
You know these girls are probably teens to early 20s at best. You just, that's how it is. And you know what? Your job is to make the adjustment. You still can't be a creep. That's the whole, you're never supposed to be a creep, that. But yes, that's a very attractive body. Have no idea how old that body is. You know what?
And then you move along.
Thank you, nature. Yeah. Thank you, the great one, for letting me see something fantastic. But yeah, then you move along. And, can we get over it? I mean, can we please get over it?
A few people are texting, bringing up the point that you did mention it was in Utah. Lots of people pretty conservative there. So it's like, I grew up in Utah. That makes sense as the story would come out of there. There's a ridiculous amount of modesty. Yeah. It's kind of weird over there.
I forgot Utah. That's a very, very important point.
What if she was like an out-of-towner and didn't even realize it? And then she goes in there just dressed and all like that.
I am
wearing her workout gear.
I know. How dare you? I really... I try to be open-minded. I don't understand this whole you got to cover up certain body parts that are not the naughty bits. You know, I don't get it. I know that I'm supposed to be open-minded to all philosophies and everything, but to me, it's like she was fine. I don't know why there's a state in our country that's like, oh my God, you're a horrible person because we saw a little cleavage. I don't understand.
I think that, like, what about the children? Like, my kid right now,
they do not care.
Wants to be run around. If it was up to her, she'd run around everywhere just with no clothes on. Like the body, it's just a body. It's nothing.
Don't care.
There's anything other than it's just a body. You know what I mean? So like, you see someone wearing a tight pair of shorts and a tight top, it's underneath that, it's just a body. It's not a big deal.
This is the problem when you have a fear-based society, because look, we get it. If somebody does something horrible to a little child, yes, that's horrible. That doesn't necessarily mean if a little child sees a naked person, it's the same experience. And yet we tend to do that in life, and then next thing you know, the whole world's afraid, and it's like you've gone from
crazy
0
ladies
to 60.
yelling at people in the gym.
Yeah, that's just. Okay,
I love that in the video, though. She just looks at her and does that whole, like, all right, goodbye kind of thing. Like, just piss off.
Yeah.
I'm sick of you.
I love that she had it on video, though. And I don't know if the other lady realized she was on video, but how great is that?
Yeah, at least like the video, you only hear her voice. It's not like she put the person's face on it. I don't know if she could.
Well, hey.
But, you know,
I'm recording my phone. At that point, it's like, you're coming up bothering me.
A lot of people love filming. I could not do. I know that some people do it for the vanity part so they can put it on Instagram. Others do it so they go make sure that their form is okay. I've just never been one to like want to film myself while I'm at the gym.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I do.
If you look like
I try
her,
to avoid the mirrors as it is.
If you look like her, I would say, go film yourself.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're a little lacking.
You know what? Now I'm gonna.
No.
And I'm gonna make sure the volume's up real loud. I'm gonna text them to you so you can hear me grunt.
No. Plus, also sometimes gas might come out with you, and you don't want the volume up for that.
Oh, it is leg day today.
Yeah. See, no.
It's fart day.
No, it's not. I know it's bad, and you don't know because but you don't smell it, so you have no idea how much you're wrecking the place.
Oh no, I knew it the other day, and it was one of those ones where it's like the bomb went off, and I'm like, I just hope nobody comes over here, and it was like that, like you're just like,
I hate that.
You're like, please, God, I'm asking you just one favor. Please let nobody walk over here.
I love it. God's going, this is the favor you're asking.
That's all I'm asking for. World peace, world schmeece.
Yeah, you want a little bit of cash? No, you just want to make sure nobody smells the destruction.
Just give me a good 90 seconds to like maybe 3 minutes before anybody comes over here. And he answered my prayers, BJ.
Oh, God, look at you.
It was nice of him.
Look at that.
I couldn't even imagine like what I would do because it was obvious it was me.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nobody else around. So like if somebody walks up to that, like, I don't know, do you own it or do you just kind of like look like, man, some dude just left?
Does anybody believe that when you say that?
No.
That's
even if it's true.
Yeah. Say, oh, dude, I'm so sorry, but, last night's dinner, what am I going to tell my wife? She doesn't know it's leg day.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah. She didn't know that she shouldn't feed me this stuff. All right, this is very interesting. Now, granted, I would, if somebody came up to me wearing a monocle, like, the Planters Peanut guy... But
I'd want to talk to them.
Yeah, and here's why this is relevant, because there's a Stanford student coder who has created a GPT that listens to the conversations you're in and then tells you exactly what to say next by showing the words on your monocle. Sort of like the Google Glass, but it's like, it tells you how to have conversations.
Yeah, but it's more classy because it's a monocle.
This is wild. It listens to conversations, and then
it's like AI is now being we just talked about it yesterday about having like your own Cyrano de Bergerac or whatever the name is.
Now you got it.
Joe needs this.
Yeah, he needs a monocle.
I would totally wear a monocle.
They got to work on it because right now the monocle goes over like a glass over your glasses and it just looks weird.
Oh yeah, you look like a weirdo.
If you go on a date with someone and you're wearing this, they're gonna think, I don't know if I want to go on another date with you. But this is just like a test.
Yeah. Prototype?
Yeah, prototype. So I'd imagine that he's going to be able to make it work so it eventually could be in the glasses itself.
Dude, heads-up display is a thing that is going to happen in our life. And anyone who's played video games knows, or even if you've driven some of the fancy cars that are out there right now where you have the heads-up display where you can see stuff on your windshield, all of like your miles per hour and stuff, that's probably going to be a thing in our lives.
Could you imagine like getting to go, you have to talk in front of a group of people?
Yeah.
It's like a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Without having one.
I wouldn't trust myself with the control of that, though. Like the speed of it, I'd be flying through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd have to maybe there's a thing you could tap that just slows it down real fast.
You can check out the video of this being used on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com, and that is a GPT that listens to conversations and then broadcasts what you should say on a monocle. Here's an example of developer Brian Chang using Riz GPT.
Hey Bridget, how's your trip to Argentina? I'd love to hear about it.
Oh, it was so fun. I had a blast. We explored around the city and went to museums and did a lot of fun stuff.
That sounds amazing. Did you get to try any new foods while you were there?
Actually, we didn't really eat well.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a fascinating conversation, but it might be better than what Joe can do. He said he has a very hard time just even initiating conversation with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know.
Not a bad follow-up question to like.
No, you don't know when someone is speaking and you want to really like give them an opportunity to share. It is important to ask questions, and sometimes you don't even like. I know if she said I went to Argentina, let's be honest, I don't care. I mean, that's a big thing that I think women have to understand on average about men. We do not care about
pretty much about something that they're saying.
No, we don't. We don't.
Who are you saying we?
I know.
All right.
Don't lump me in there.
All right. You know what? If you guys want to be those guys that never have been in a conversation with a significant other where you go, I really don't care.
I'm not saying 10 out of 10 every conversation.
I would say 8 out of 10. For me, it's 8 out of 10. I'm going to be honest.
There's a reason. Okay, that's part of why probably you guys don't live together anymore.
Maybe. So what do you think? 50? You got 50% you care about? What's the ratio?
No, way more than 50%.
Oh my God, you are good for you. Because I mean, here's what I'm going to say: your wife must be a very, very interesting person. Because almost every woman I know, if they're 30 to 40% interesting,
just women, so not dudes. You find every dude's conversation.
Dudes are smart. They talk about what I like. They go, hey, how was the game? How was dude? What do you want for food? Every conversation with a dude is fantastic because it's short.
It takes 2 seconds,
and it's also about what I want. I don't have to tell a story about why I want a hot dog, Joe, what the hot dog means to me.
Don't ever listen to your dad for any of that.
You're not ever going to get laid.
Don't listen to Danny either.
No.
Danny's getting laid more than you.
If we did a poll where dudes could be honest about... I think you're really amazing if 50% of what the woman in your life is talking about you actually care about. It is, I mean, because I think women overshare with the men in their life, and they probably should get more girlfriends to share with, because I don't need to hear all of this. But this GBT would be great. It's like, oh, here's a good follow-up question I should ask.
And you can
she
just
thinks
zone
I give a
out,
damn about this pointless story about her taking a trip in a country that I never want to visit.
And you don't even have to listen anymore. You can just stare at her and daydream.
Yes.
And then when she stops talking, you just start reading whatever GPT tells you to say.
Dude, I daydream all the time.
That's pretty hilarious.
Like, what's my favorite show going to come on? Oh, wait, she said something. What did she say? Okay.
Now you don't even have to worry.
Not anymore.
Don't never say, you didn't even hear a single thing that I said, did you?
Yeah. If you've got somebody in your life, and look, I'm not just saying it's like all the time it's men that get bored by listening to their significant other, because I know that it can happen for women too, where guys think that they're all like, here's my great story you care about. 50% is the highest. I think you care about 50% of what someone's talking about.
You really think it's that?
Yeah. That's the highest you can go. Unless
I feel like I need to keep a tally.
Yeah.
My wife will be like, why do you keep pulling out your notes app? I'm like, I'm tallying how many times I find you interesting for BJ.
You might have got lucky and you married a woman that's actually very interesting to you. I mean, but on average...
That's a big reason why we were together. Yeah, I find what she has to say fascinating.
Oh, see, okay. I mean, I'm not saying, that's good for you. I mean, I just would say that, my wife's, maybe it's the older in the relationship, but it's just like more than half the stuff my wife talks about. It's like, I do, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a good guy. I know how to ask the right questions.
I'm picturing you like that meme. Have you ever seen that meme where it's like the woman, it's typically because of a guy boring a woman, but it's like a woman who looks completely bored to be wherever she is and a guy's in her ear. And people just add whatever, like text is like, and this is why I love wrestling. And it's like a long blurb or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that seems to be like the ongoing. Yeah, like Vicky found one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like the woman, more often than not, though, it's a woman that just looks completely bored by whatever's being said.
And I know that guys can do this.
I'm sure girls would be able to say the same thing.
I'm not throwing everybody.
Your wife loves hearing about all the TV shows you watch.
I don't, but see, I have learned to be able to actually converse in a way that will be where I can be basically try to hit everybody what they know. Like, if I'm going to have a conversation.
Seminar. You can have a seminar.
Yeah, the seminar is just, you know what? Get
the F up.
Get to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Because here's what I'm going to tell you. And again, it is like expected of you as a husband, usually, or sometimes as a wife, where you're actually supposed to always be on demand, on call to listen to whatever is going on in that person's life. And I'm like, I don't think I should be expected to have to be there every day. It was never like that, in my father's time. And I don't know. I think there's less girlfriend.
But was your father's time the good times? I mean, you say sometimes, like, hey, we all reminisce about how the old days were the best ways, and you're like, no, actually they weren't. Maybe Dad's way wasn't the best way.
I actually think, and from a behavioral science standpoint, it's been talked about, that actually not just women, but a lot of people expect their spouse to be more of a counselor and therapist than they should have to be. And that's what I'm basing this on, is that we tend to don't have the friend group that we used to have to where we would go, you know what, I'm not going to burden my spouse with this. I should go to my buddies with this because this is really the best conversation, and
that's what I would say is going on right now in a lot of relationships. We basically tend to think, you're my partner, you're my therapist. And it's like, no, I don't. Even behavioral science is going, that's not cool. You can't dump on your partner like that. And it just didn't happen that much in the other years, because let your father alone. I'm going to go and talk to my girlfriends. And a lot more women were home, so they had a lot more networking with their women friends at home. Whereas nowadays, I don't know, with the social awkwardness, do women get to really, and also men, do they actually get to bro down and sister down like they used to in my father's time? I don't think they do.
I wish I had that thing, because I stopped listening to you and I
there we
say
go.
something in response.
There you go.
I zoned out, sorry.
All right, well, I will say this. You guys can go whatever, but if behavioral science is saying this might really be an issue, that we're oversharing with our partners and it's not just a chick thing, I think it's worth wondering about.
Well, I'll try Chappy GPT and I'll try Chat BJ and I'll figure out which one works. How about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, you can see, like Steve said, how it's working for me.
Not good.
But
I do have to say something real quick. There's a weird text.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I did actually get distracted. Someone just texted, fingers crossed Tatum is still running around naked 15 years later.
Oh, that's horrible.
To which I replied,
what a horrible text.
That's a strange text, dude.
That is a horrible text.
And they said, well, we used to mess with BJ about Sarah way back. It's Steve's turn. Let me let you know. I was about to respond.
Wow.
BJ's daughter was over 18, actually over 21, when we would have some fun and joke around about stuff. And she was a willing participant in it. My daughter's 3. Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
You're strange, dude.
Yeah, come on.
If you think it's a funny joke to be joking like that, you need help.
Yeah.
Go after yourself.
I appreciate the sentiment.
It's easier to say that than text it. I didn't really feel like doing that.
Yeah, I appreciate the sentiment.
Get some help, dude.
But you gotta understand that the kid's 3.
Yeah, you're trying to have a sexual joke with a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Go after yourself.
And I don't, if I take him to what he meant, I don't think he meant any harm in that respect, didn't realize his words exactly sounded like that.
Yeah, it's just an odd thing to throw out there.
Yeah, so I think that sometimes...
It distracted me, BJ. I see that.
I don't blame you.
And I was ready to jump through the computer, trying to be nice.
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't realize his words meant that, but boy... if you're a reasonable person, you got to see that your words can come off like that.
And when someone says that's a strange text, don't double down on it.
Yeah, you've got to go, oh, hey, dude, sorry, I didn't mean it that way, but I can see how you saw it that way. I really didn't mean it like that.
And Chris Hansen's waiting outside of your house with a glass of lemonade.
Yeah, it is. I would hope that he was just, like he said, trying to be a schmuck and didn't realize, oh, wait, the way I just did that was very creepy.
Yeah.
And no father wants to get texts like that.
That's just a strange text.
Yeah, that disrupts you, man.
Yeah.
I'd like to disagree with you. Believe me, I look for any reason to disagree with you, but this is...
I get it when someone's an adult. We all have fun, and sometimes everyone's cool, but that's a 3-year-old.
Yeah, it is.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, she cannot help who her father is.
No.
Let's just
She had no
that.
choice.
She has
to take that up with mom.
I got news for you. I mean, the kid is trying as I'm trying to get other choices right now as far as a father. I mean, with a 3-year-old, you only have so many at your only legal resources at your disposal. But I'm sure, Tatum will do the right thing and, she'll find the right people.
Yes.
Maybe Palace Law. And, I would like to be emancipated. Please, my father's an idiot.
It's like we only deal with workplace stuff. I don't care.
I don't care. But you know what? Still, she's got to be, 16 before she can emancipate herself?
I have no idea. I haven't looked into that yet, BJ.
I think you should.
Clearly, I have a few years to worry about that.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but whenever you make a joke about any child in that respect, it's never going to go over well. People are going to go, dude, what the F?
And then when someone calls you on it, maybe be like, all right, maybe I did go a little too far on this.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do in life.
Boy, strange.
Dude, I'm sorry. That sucks to see.
Oh, it's fine. I felt like I had to say because I was zoned out on you and I saw that text because I'm trying to monitor these texts and usually we get weird texts left and right.
Yeah.
That one was just like, come on, man.
You're a human being. And even though we do these shows and we're professionals and we know how to be idiots in almost every situation, every once in a while, when you get a communication, it's like, the human being in you, like just the person when the microphone shuts off goes, what the F was that?
Yeah, and I hope you're right. I hope this person it was a poor attempt at a joke.
Yeah, me too. I mean, because the alternative is scary as F.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that person could be around people and that's not cool. So I hope we're right about the fact that he just...
But still kindly go after yourself.
There we go. That's kindly. I think that's very nice. Very, very much. See, you've already ascribed to my method.
Yes. I think I did. I don't know.
I think, you know what? Osmosis is a horrible thing in your case, unfortunately.
That was so strange.
Yeah, that was, wow.
All right, well, we're going to take a break then, Steve. I want you to regroup.
I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to crush some people and beat Migs.
Okay, here we go. Because yesterday, Steve did get this one right.
Paul David Houston is better known as what Irish singer?
David Houston is Bono.
Yes.
God, I would have got that wrong. I totally, even now when she said
I can only think of one Irish singer, so there we go.
Oh, good call. I missed the Irish. All right. It's a good clue, Vic. That's the last compliment I'm giving you for the rest of your life.
Yay.
You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-803-ROCK. We're going to play Beat Migs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I figure out who my creditors are?
People a lot of times have had a long time of not having good credit and having collections, and so they're concerned that you may be concerned that you won't be able to find all your creditors if you file bankruptcy. How will I know which collection agency has my credit card bill from 10 years ago now? And that's something that's hard to keep track of because credit collection agencies transfer your debts all over the place. But we will pull all your credit bureaus, and by getting all three of your credit bureaus, we'll be able to tell who has your credit and debt now, which collection agencies have had it in the past, and we'll make sure that we file all your creditors when we file your bankruptcy so that nothing slips through the cracks.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Insight School of Washington is open to all Washington State residents grades K through 12. We have a personalized approach to education, whether it's college credits with dual enrollment, career readiness and certifications, credit recovery, or just the ease of flexibility. We will accommodate your family's needs. The 23-24 school year enrollment is open now. Go to k12.com/ISWA. That's k12.com/ISWA to find out more. Whatever support you and your student might need, our teachers are committed to helping your family succeed with flexible online learning. At Insight School of Washington, your child can learn in the ways that are right for them, at home, on the road, or wherever there's an internet connection. We've been around a long time, successfully schooling online for over 10 years. Tuition free. Enroll or get more information today at k12.com/ISWA. We'd love to welcome your family to the Insight School of Washington community.
Hey y'all, it's Garth. I love the country music family. I love the country music family of artists and the country music family of songs. Some of the greatest artists to ever grace music are under the flag of country music. And some of the greatest songs in music history are under the flag of country music. The Big 615, you're going to hear the newest that country music has to offer. At the same time, you're going to hear the newest that the country classics have to offer. I want to hear the new single from George Strait, and I want to hear it right beside the new single from Luke Combs. And I think the country music family is one of those families that is very inclusive and wants both the established artists and the new artists to be side by side in this thing we call country music.
Download the TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. And by the way, yes, it's free. You can also ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Shine down. They're back, Steve.
Yes. They're a great live band.
Well, you get to see them. Well, you might have to pay, but they're going to be at Angel of the Wind's Arena in Everett May 7th is when they're back. Steve says they're a great live band. Yeah, you can buy tickets, sure, but you could also win tickets. And Steve, I hear all you got to do is just listen to us.
It's the easiest contest in the world. Well, you don't have to buy anything. All you have to do is just listen to The Rock. Listen to us online on the Odyssey app or through KSW.com. And the more you listen, the more chances you get at winning. Every hour is an entry.
Every hour. And you can get that Odyssey app at your app store, AUDACY, Odyssey. And like Steve said, every hour you listen is another entry for Shinedown tickets. You want more info? KISW.com.
Let's play Beat Migs. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs. You're a loser.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Hey, here we go.
Anybody else have the urge to scratch the crap out of their face right now? Allergies are a bitch.
Oh, that was just like, what is happening over there?
It's not a kinky
You
thing.
need some bath salts?
No, it's just like, I just want to rub my face, and then people look at you funny when you start rubbing your face. And
So far, I'm lucky, Vicky, but I know what allergies like. It's a beating. It's going to hit me at some point, but so far I've been okay. I just have this nagging little cough that comes up once in a while, and it's like, it's allergy season, but everybody's going to think, oh, hey, buddy, do you got the thing? And I don't got the thing.
So, yeah, damn right I got the thing.
I don't got it.
it's like, what thing you looking for? I may got it. What? No?
Okay, then.
Don't worry about it.
Nobody's ever asking me for that, though, so
Yeah.
they think the other thing is the bad thing.
Fair enough. But what people are asking for is Beat Migs, because we have Marvel or Marvell from University Place.
It's actually Marvel, but everybody calls me Marvel.
Is that your God-given name, or is that a nickname?
Yeah. No, it's my God-given name. I was named after my dad.
Huh. Is there a backstory behind Marvell? I don't know the name very well.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because my mom, or not my mom, but my grandma liked the name because she had a friend that was from France that liked the name and named my dad after it.
Okay.
That's awesome. I like it. All right, well, Steve, get out of here.
It's Steven.
Steven! For those playing at home, Marvell has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you do only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Metallica released the song I Disappear on what 2000 Tom Cruise starring sequel?
Mission Impossible 2.
Correct. In Disney's Peter Pan, what was the name of the chief's daughter?
Pass.
What Hollywood star is married to Matthew Broderick?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Correct. What type of food is Limburger?
Cheese.
Yes. Who had the 2012 hit song and dance Gangnam Style?
Psy.
Yes. What crazy-haired physicist said imagination is more important than knowledge?
Albert Einstein.
Correct. What female singer had the 80s hit song Time After Time?
Pass.
What food item shares its name with a famous cartoon strip by Charles M. Schulz?
Peanuts.
Yes. In Chinese and Japanese culture, the number 4 is associated with what?
Luck.
No.
Wealth.
No.
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct.
All right. I mean, we'll see how this goes. See if Steve can get them all.
I know he's been, he wasn't doing so great. Got a couple of wins in there, so we'll see if he's going to keep up the win. He's got his lucky jersey.
His early one was not good today. Oh, wait, did he win today?
He won
7-1.
Like I said, great job today, Steve.
I'm riding high on my Yanni Gore jersey.
Yes.
Trying to psych you out, buddy.
Best investment ever.
Are you ready, Gordo?
Oh, yeah!
Metallica released the song I Disappear on what 2000's Tom Cruise starring sequel?
Mission Impossible 2.
Yes. In Disney's Peter Pan, what was the name of the chief's daughter?
Pocahontas?
No.
I don't know. Peachy?
No.
Good old Peachy.
Velma.
No.
Velma.
What Hollywood star is married to Matthew Broderick?
Laura Graham.
No.
Heidi Klum.
No.
Kate Beckinsale.
No.
Wow.
What type of food is Limburger?
Limburger is a fruit.
No.
It's a burger.
No.
It's a sausage.
No.
Oh,
Who had the 2012 hit Song and Dance Gangnam Style?
Oh, Psy.
Yes.
All right.
What crazy-haired physicist said imagination is more important than knowledge?
Albert Einstein.
Correct.
Yes.
What female singer had the 80s hit song Time After Time?
Cyndi Lauper. BJ's
Correct.
girl.
My girl.
What food item shares its name with the famous cartoon strip by Charles M. Schulz?
Peanuts.
Yes. In Chinese and Japanese cultures, the number 4 is associated with what?
Food.
No. 1, 2,
Sex.
3, 4, 5. Correct. That was not enough for a win. 6 to 5.
Steve.
Nice work, Marvell.
Time to burn this jersey.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah,
No,
baby.
you can give it to me. I'm a Browns fan.
I'm actually going to keep it.
Love how that went down. Love even this better. Yeah, baby. We're back. And Steve's not.
No.
So, Danny, do you know the name of the chief's daughter in Peter Pan?
Is it Hiawatha?
No.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
should know it,
these
Danny.
are those
Yeah,
are those
you
are
know,
real people.
Billy.
I'm saying.
Peter Pan was no.
Half of it is correct. It's partially Lily.
Oh,
No, I don't.
Lilith.
Tiger Lily.
Tiger
oh,
Lily.
that's right.
That's right.
Tiger Lily.
But I was tracking with your clue.
I was like, come on, buddy.
Nice work.
Matthew Broderick is married to Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Limburger's a type of cheese.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the smelly cheese.
And does anybody know what the number 4 is associated in Chinese and Japanese cultures?
What the number 4 is associated with in that culture?
In those cultures, yes.
Chinese and Japanese. I do
Wealth?
not know.
Death.
Happiness.
Death?
That is their unlucky number.
4.
Oh, I
Yes.
didn't realize that.
Very unlucky.
Oh,
So there's a lot of
man.
times where they won't even have like the 4th floor. They'll just kind of skip over.
So it's like
Really?
they're 13.
Yeah, it is their 13.
Wow.
And
Okay.
If you watch the movie Turning Red, there's even mention to it. They're like, 4, ugly number, because there's a boy band called Four Town, even though there's 5 of them. So
That's
that was
probably why they call themselves an unlucky number, but they're like, I don't want to be the 4th.
Right.
So we'll be 5 Town.
So that was the big joke of that.
Oh, wow. That's so amazing how humans can be. It's like, why that number's bad for them and 13's bad for us. And it's just like,
Superstitions.
it makes no sense at all if you try to figure it out.
But it's funny how to start somewhere.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe there is some sort of semi-scientific reason that I don't know about as far as the 4, but okay. Well, congratulations. And also, if you haven't seen the Cyndi Lauper video, I think it was, I don't know if it was the Tonight Show or the David Letterman show where she performed that song live. God, maybe I'm just such a Cyndi Lauper homer, but what a beautiful live performance. It was, you just sit there and her facial expressions, how she does that song, which is such a beautiful song that, man. And I remember seeing it live, and I think that's probably when I was like, okay, Cyndi Lauper I think I'm going to have to make her my number 1.
See, you should go back and watch WrestleMania 1 because she was heavily involved in it.
I know, believe
she
me,
was
that
a
was
big part of the rock and wrestling. She was a huge part of that.
I know she was, which is kind of why I didn't want to like her. What show was it, Vicky? Was it Tonight Show?
The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Yeah, it was a tremendous performance, and I watched it again recently, but I think I'm just a homer. But I just thought, the way she's dressed and how she bees, you would go, all right, I'm not, she's just going to be like a Madonna-ish, crazy wrestling sort of figure. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful ballad. And the way she did it was just like, wow. It just hit me in the feels. So there you go.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with your obsession with Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah?
But I'll watch it.
Oh, I don't think you'll get anything out of it.
All right.
But I don't know if there's any performer where you go, whoa. Sometimes Silent Lucidity does that when you hear Jeff Tate's vocals on that, and it's just like, damn, like they just cut right through you.
Yeah, in the right space, right mindset.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of Pearl Jam songs obviously do that for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so, it is your time. Yes, it is time for Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-803-ROCK, that is the number to call. That is the number to text, 206-803-ROCK. And we'll take those calls, we'll take those texts at 9:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. Brought to you by Kia of Puyallup. Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-803-ROCK. 2 ways to use that number. You can call it, you can text it, 206-803-ROCK. But if you get through, make sure you do what the man says.
And that's just the man, I guess, is me?
Yeah.
But to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
Brother.
Brother.
That's what you got to do. 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. Let's go to Brad in Seattle. Brad, you are on the Rock.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Brad? What you got, man?
Well, I wanted to elaborate on your Cyndi Lauper theory, the goosebump theory, if you will.
Oh, yeah, right. We're talking about how that Time After Time performance on The Tonight Show all those years ago was like, whoa.
That feeling that you get. But the first thing I want to say is, that's Kraken Donkey, baby!
Yeah, baby.
Release the Kraken. There you go. My story takes back to 1992. I was in high school. I was about 16 years old, and we ditched school that week to go see Lollapalooza in Shoreline Amphitheater in Frisco. And good lineup, great lineup. And one of the bands that I didn't even know about until we got to the show, because I don't know if the listeners out there that are my age, Babes in Toyland was one of the bands that something happened to the singer. I think she got sick or something. So they brought Tool from the second stages up to the main stage. And my first experience watching Tool, to this day, I still feel the same. I get the goosebumps. It's just his voice. And just watching him in that black Speedo with the long black mohawk doing the Undertow album with a little bit of opiate was just, that was it for me. I totally get what BJ means when he says that.
The record opiate, not the drug. I saw BJ.
I was like, well,
wait a second. No, they're the first record, right?
Okay,
I think it's their first.
Yeah.
Sorry, the LP.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Dude, that's crazy you saw them that early in their career, because, like, I mean, I've seen them live a few times, but it was, well into them, they played the Paramount once. I got to see them, and then a few arena shows, but to see them on that small level, where they're a second stage band,
how about
pretty
that?
cool.
Damn,
dude. It was pretty sick.
It is,
What was he like as a front man? Was he reserved like he became, or was he a little bit more out? And like, sometimes like certain singers, they were like crazy at first, and then over the years, either just they get jaded or they just kind of like find themselves into this own like little weird groove. But Maynard now is known for being in like the background really for the band.
Yeah, I don't know him as the Mohawk Speedo dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look up the videos back in 92, 93. It was crazy. But the show, they just came out. They jammed. He didn't say much as usual, but he was up front. Mm-hmm. And when they were done, he just threw his microphone down. We are Tool. And then that was it. And then when I went back to school that next week, just trying to find because we didn't have internet really that back then. We just went to Tower Records to go find our MTV is how we usually got our music. But found Undertow, and then that was it. I've seen them 11 times.
Damn.
And yeah, man, it is just one of the crazy shows. Real quick, I was we went to the Portland show March 17th, 2020. And that was pretty much, I believe, the last show in America until the pandemic kind of got over. Because, man, we were sweating bullets waiting outside the Rose. Well, it's the Moda now, but it was crazy.
I forgot about that. That was like one of the last shows.
Yeah,
it really was.
Brad, thanks for the call. Thanks,
guys. Take care. Have a good weekend. Go Kraken.
All right, there we go. Go Kraken, buddy. It's
I found like old footage from '92.
Yeah, look at that. Wow,
it's a trip to see. He's still very intense up there.
Yeah, and he does. It's weird. He looks awkward and intense at the same time. At least in this video, you can see why he'd want to be maybe like, let me just go in the background and. But
it looks like he's like staring through somebody's soul. Like he finds one person, he doesn't stop looking at them, and the entire time he's just staring at one spot.
It's weird. But that's Maynard.
It's kind of hypnotizing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the one thing about a band like Tool. I have a friend of mine who is 10 years older than I am, so he's a hippie from back in the day. Loves going to see Tool live.
I can believe that, man, because they're trippy.
Yeah,
they jam. They're not just, they don't stick so straight to what they're doing on the record. Like they kind of let things kind of breathe, and I think that's kind of a hippie style.
It's pretty amazing,
while also being very heavy.
Yeah, definitely. And lots of props to them, and also to my friend who didn't close his doors to music, at a certain generation. Yeah. So, man. That says a lot for, I think, Tool, for the fact that, because I've always said it's very orchestral. Mm-hmm. You're going for an experience when you're seeing them do what they do.
Seeing them live is one of the more fun experiences, not because of anything they do on stage. All four of them. I mean, Danny carried the drummers like all over the place, but he's still on a drum throne. But the whole band, they don't really do much. It's just like you're watching them performing, like you're just mesmerized by what they're doing with their instruments, even their vocal instrument.
206-803-ROCK, that's the number to call. It's listeners on the loose. Call us, text us, 206-803-ROCK.
We're getting a lot of texts about you're a Seattle Kraken, DJ. A lot of people pretty hyped. I like this one. Someone tweeted us this morning from Sam. He says, first song I think of or I heard when I left for work this morning, it was Hypnotize. Groovy, groovy, groovy. Let's go Kraken.
Groovy, groovy, groovy. Can't you see? Oh, this one? Sometimes you play just hypnotize me. And we just love your big glove saves. Guess that's why you win in the Avalanche. Yeah, there we go. That's great timing on my part.
That's all right.
All right.
Groovy, groovy, groovy.
This is the
Can't
one.
you see? Sometimes your plays just hypnotize me. And we just love your big love saves. Guess that's why you win and the Avs are lame.
It's a hit. The song's a hit.
That's a big hit. Look, I'm going to just point out one thing because I'm always a nervous guy. You did bring it up.
Oh, what did I say?
You said that the dude was out for a game, and that was a big loss for the Avalanche, and he's going to be back for Game 6.
Yes, he is.
And
he's a Norris Trophy winning defenseman, meaning that he's considered the best defenseman in the NHL.
So he is going to be bringing his game. It's an elimination game for the Avalanche, so that he's going to go out there and play and give it all.
Absolutely,
and also in front of us, which was the last time we saw him was in front of us, and he's probably going to feed off that. I would think the crowd hating his guts.
Oh, dude, he played for about 30 minutes in that game. So every time he touched that puck, and he touches it a lot, that place was deafening. Yeah. And it's only going to be louder.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope
Friday.
that keeps happening.
It's going to be insane. I mean, he's a bigger bad guy than like Roddy Piper back in the height of his wrestling days. Like this guy, he touches the puck and the place goes. It's fun though, not fun why it happened, but it's fun to see that kind of. We have it's a rivalry. There's animosity. Like that's the fun part of sports. Obviously, I don't want to see anyone get injured for that to happen. But you know what? Like Seattle is going to be bonkers on Friday night.
Dude, you're right. I mean, this is our first playoff. No matter how this goes, this is going. Like you said, when we play them reg season next year, it's going to be a lot different because. They're in our way. This stuff happened.
There's history now.
It's and that's we didn't expect it because we just assumed it would be Vancouver, but it turns out, the Avalanche are probably going to be hated. Very much like maybe how we hate the Niners and how we hate the Rams.
Hopefully, we goof on them like we goof on the Broncos.
Oh yeah, love that. We need to make We need to make a big deal. We have to have a trade with the Avalanche and really just get a ton of draft picks and give them somebody who does nothing.
Oh, what would
unlimited.
What would make it even worse if Russell Wilson was at the game last night?
Oh, like rallying him up or whatever,
or like panned in on him and just be like.
You've seen a meme out there. He's like, "Hey, it really isn't my fault, Colorado, that the Avalanche is losing. You really can't play. I don't even play hockey."
But just a testament. I know we talked a little bit about earlier about Dave Haxtell. I know, like last year, it was like the sentiment was, get rid of him. Even in parts during this season, people were like, get rid of him. He doesn't show any emotions. But I think now we're starting to see why that's important for a coach.
Yeah,
like he never shows that he's like riled up in a good or a bad way. He's kind of even tempered, and I think that style of coaching is the reason why our team didn't make a bunch of stupid mistakes and penalties after that hit, because the team showed massive restraint. And I know some people gave them a hard time about that. Like if one of my teammates got hit like that, I'd be trying to take out everybody. But the fact that they didn't do that, they hit them where it hurt, which was scoring on that power play, and didn't try and turn it into let's just try and hurt this guy. Let's play our game and play it well. That's a testament to Dave Haxtell's coaching.
Yeah, you can't afford to be that ridiculous in the playoffs. Maybe regular season, but not the playoffs.
But some players could go off the script like that, because it's emotional. Like you see one of your guys get knocked down and he's hurt bad. But no, they just came out and they played their game, and Yanni Gourde to me has just been on top of it. They're pairing him up. They're putting him out there against their top line, like Yanni's line, and they're delivering, man. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
It really is. And of course, Game 6 is tomorrow, and it's going to be. If you can't get into the arena, but how cool is it? Like for a guy like me, I get to watch the whole game and not have to worry about having to go to bed. I'm very excited about that.
I am happy about that because I don't think I'm going to be sleeping, win or lose, after that game.
Yeah, so that's big excitement. Of course, the Dragons on Sunday. I hope that's the only playoff game I get to watch on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
That's what I'm hoping for. Mm-hmm. So to be a Seattle sports fan, and hopefully maybe, in between like a little sorbet, maybe I can watch a Mariners win. That would be nice.
All of this text says, I can't believe this, but the NFL draft is tonight. The Mariners are playing, and I, a guy who never gave a flying F about hockey, only care about one thing and one thing only. That's Kraken hockey, baby. Let's go Kraken.
Yeah. It's a great game to okay, let me watch this because it's very exciting. For me, that's the tough part.
Find me a more exciting 3 minutes that we had at the end of that game yesterday. That was insane.
Yeah. And that's, for me, that's the tough part, like about soccer. Soccer's a tough game to get into because if you know the game, it's one thing, but it moves a lot slower, But hockey, my gosh, I mean, the pace is insane when you realize that these people are on skates and on ice and are trying to figure, like they're trying to orchestrate plays. They actually do draw out plays and they have a clipboard and they go, hey, you do A, B, and C. They have their X's and O's and you're like,
I thought they just went out there and just tried really hard.
Yeah. It's just like they're doing this on ice. Okay. It's just a fantastic thing to come in on the ground floor on, and how great is it that season 2 you get to see the greatest version of hockey, which is playoff hockey.
I thought it'd be a few years before we got to experience this, and so what an easy way to win over new fans.
Yeah.
Season 2, you're already making a good run to potentially get out of the first round against a team that won the cup last year. This is awesome.
Yeah, and Groovy, I mean, John Forsland said it.
Groovy.
Yeah.
Can't you see?
John Forsland said it. Stick with this dude. And you know what? He has saved the best for the right time.
Yes. Making some clutch saves yesterday.
And you know what, Steve, you talk about Hackstall and the way they manage this. I mean, look, the guy sure as heck got a chance to get his head together, got enough rest because of the play of Martin Jones and even Joey Decourt at times. He surely wasn't used over the amount of times to the point that he is as fresh as you would want a goalie to be for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's working. It's working for me.
Groovy.
Here we go, baby.
Can't you see?
All right, it is listeners on the loose. Why do we do that to people?
I don't know.
It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. More of your calls and texts at 937 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
Invest in your future at Columbia College. Take that next step toward the career you've been dreaming of. From a leader in online learning for over 20 years, make a difference in your future with a degree from Columbia College. Learn more at yourfuture.ccis.edu.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Listeners on the loose, 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. And let's go to Jan. Jan in Tacoma, you're on The Rock.
Hello, buddy.
Hey, Jan, what you got for us today, buddy?
Hey, so I was curious about two things real quick. The first is if BJ had any insight on what's going on with Wizards of the Coast right now, because I'm just seeing a bunch of memes about them being a sort of stereotypically evil corporate company. And as a side to that, I was wondering if there was any way to get Steve to play D&D or any other kind of tabletop RPG.
Oh, God. There's no way.
I don't know if you'd want me to. I don't know if I'd be very... I know I wouldn't be very good at it.
What will happen first? You playing a board game with me or me going to see you wrestle? I'm not sure what'll happen first.
Oh, I was going to say, I'd play a board game while listening to Pearl Jam's 10 with you.
Oh, it's not worth it.
Oh, see, now BJ's the problem, not me. I'm more than willing to.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
I don't think you'll ever come see me wrestle unless I actually kidnap you and bring you out to it.
Yeah. Jan, are you talking about the fact that dude that had the box of Magic cards and they went and took them back from him? Is that the situation you're talking about?
Yeah, something about that, yeah. I heard a little bit about it from my buddy, and he said that they sent the Pinkertons, who I didn't even realize were still a thing.
Yeah, and I don't know much about the Pinkertons. What's the story? Because
it's a great Weezer record. That's all I know.
That's all I know, too. And are they a British sort of detective agency thing?
They're a private security agency, detective agency in England.
Is this real life stuff or is this like part of the D&D stuff?
No, it's real.
Oh, I thought this was like part of the story of the game.
Actually, it was established here in the United States by a Scottish-born American. So it started in Chicago.
So this is, for folks that don't know Magic the Gathering, the cards, when they release cards, they are very valuable, and especially in the secondary market. It's a huge, gigantic business. You would not believe the amount of money made on the secondary market. That's why Wizards, owned by Hasbro, make so much money still today, 30 some odd years later, selling Magic the Gathering cards. It's the collectability of them all, and that's all I will tell you. So what happened was some dude went to the store, bought a box of Magic cards. He was accidentally given a set of cards that aren't released yet. So somebody gave him the wrong box. He was like, oh my God, this is a brand new set. Wow, this is fantastic. He went online, said, look at all the great cards I have. in the world of Magic the Gathering, they really don't like to have that stuff out there. They sure as hell don't want someone having product out there because, again, secondary market. It would just, it's just basically like rare stuff that shouldn't be ready yet, and that guy shouldn't have had it. And Wizards of the Coast apparently, according to the stories, employed this little detective agency to go get the cards back from the guy saying, you should not have these.
This is crazy.
And yes, the average person like you, they're going to have a reaction like that. But if you're in the industry and know all this stuff, I kind of can see why they are protective. I don't know if they've handled it as gracefully as possible. And Joey, of course, has a friend, and that's all I'm going to say, that works at Wizards of the Coast. So, Joey, do you have any more to shed on that than I just did?
Yeah, just like imagine you knew who the Seahawks were going to pick in the draft today, and then someone accidentally leaked that information to someone.
I do know.
Oh, that's a good call.
That's what they would do. And now they send Pinkerton over to you, and you're like, well, I didn't know who leaked it. I just happened to get the information.
It was like when the Seattle Kraken did their expansion draft, and we were like all excited to watch the expansion draft special, and then everything got leaked out way before that. We knew everybody that was getting drafted hours before the draft even happened. It was kind of like, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Wizards of the Coast because they just got over another debacle over the holiday season about Dungeons and Dragons, and I won't get into that, but there was legalities that basically, unfortunately, Wizards of the Coast looked like the bad guy in that as well, and, they actually rolled it back and said, we're sorry, mea culpa. They're owned by Hasbro. Hasbro is a giant company, and a lot of people right now, especially in the gaming world, they're not exactly big company people. They're sort of like fight the man people, a lot of gamers. So it's really hard to be a big company serving that as your audience when you make moves and they go, F you, big company. So that's what's happening. And yeah, the Pinkertons, I guess, also don't have the greatest reputation themselves. So it's just a lot of evil empire sort of like ideas.
You said the Pinkertons, I thought for sure that was
That's what I thought too when I first heard about them.
So ridiculous. What a funny name for we're the Pinkertons.
And but imagine someone coming to your house, you legally bought a product and they take it from you. And I don't know, I think it's too bad the product got leaked, but hey, I went to a store, I paid my money, I was given this.
They get a refund though, right?
I don't know what they should get a lot more because I don't think they should have been able to take that from that guy because it's like, hey, dude, sorry there was a mess up, but I now own this. I kind of on the side of the person that owns the product.
But on the flip side, like what if you go to the bank and you look into your bank account and you have $1 million, it's not really yours. At some point you're going to realize that that's not my money. I have to give it back.
Yeah. It's an interesting analogy. Don't know if it fits, but I see your point.
As close as I could get.
I see
it's not even 10 in the morning. You want my brain to work fully?
See, if I'm them.
I'm at 70% at this point.
And I don't know. If I'm them, I go there and I make, I forget what it was. Somebody would not give a ball back in a ball game, and it was like somebody's first, or it was a momentous something.
Yeah.
And I remember watching this game, and they would not give it to him.
Yeah.
And they would go, wow, they're still negotiating. And they kept showing more and more people show up in the stands, and this dude did not want to give the ball for this momentous hit in baseball. And they really don't have to give it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how much they got to give this guy? Like, if I'm Wizards, I'm backing up the truck.
At least offer a T-shirt and a refund.
Oh, that wasn't enough.
No,
not for this situation.
What would be enough if you were this guy? And they're like, what do we need to give you to make you happy?
You've got to give me at least. I think you got to give me at least 10 boxes of Magic cards because I know what I got in my hands. I know what I got in my hands.
Easy. Yeah, I thought you were going to say $10,000. I thought you were crazy.
I thought you were going to say $10 million.
Oh, no, 10 boxes I think is fair because you will probably reap a lot of great rewards from those 10 boxes.
Just 10 random boxes, no guarantee.
Well, it's probably going to be a set that I want. I'll pick a set that I want that I know will be valuable, and there's a lot of valuable sets out there. So.
I feel like I would do that if I was Wizards of the Coast. Be like, all right. We'll work a deal with you.
Yeah, and that's at least what I'd want. And I think that's reasonable because he's got some gold right there. He's got something that nobody has, and that's value. I mean, hey, it's like you go to a flea market. Hey, if you go to somebody's garage sale, right, and you pick up a Rembrandt, they didn't know they had a Rembrandt. Do they have a right to come back and get it from you? You paid your $10 for it.
The guy that sang the Friends theme?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, man.
Or a Van Gogh. How about a Van Gogh?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Do you have a right to go back and get it when you go, dude, I didn't know that was $1 million painting. Let me get that back.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. So the tough one is there's a company looking real bad again, and it's like, God, you guys got to figure this out. You keep looking like the bad guys.
Someone said, hey, I guess Pete Carroll had a speech for the Kraken before the last game. Do you guys have audio of it? I don't know if he actually did a speech. Maybe someone else knows this. I try to find if he did a speech for the players. I didn't see anything about him giving a speech for the players. But was it the Saturday night home game, Danny, you were at?
Yep.
And Pete Carroll showed up on the big screen. He was at the game.
Really?
And he gave like a little rally speech before he was he was announcing like a hero of the game, like a cool thing that they do where they hook somebody up with some cool stuff that they consider a good person. But Pete did it, and then he of course addressed the crowd. The quality is obviously cell phone quality, but you could kind of just hear how pumped this crowd was to have Pete Carroll there.
Awesome.
I bet he was fired up too. All right, I was going to have the hero stuff. Yeah. You gave it to me. I don't want to. I'm trying to be humble about it.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
I wasn't even there. It was weird.
It was. He was one of those because they kept showing like random people that were at the game, but nothing compared to Monday night's game. Like I feel like every star from Seattle was out on Monday.
It was a who's who. Like, and not everybody was sitting like in like fancy pants sections. Like there was like players were just hanging, like Seahawk players and Mike McCready just out there in the crowd, just enjoying the game. It was awesome to see.
So when they showed Pete Carroll on Saturday, it was like everyone lost their minds of like, he's here.
Yeah, especially after last season. I feel like he redeemed himself in the eyes of, it's funny how like him and Hackstall kind of have like a similar trajectory. Like they both were like failed pro coaches, got a second chance, and now doing well. And both of them at some point, they want Seattle sports fans wanted them gone, and they proved that they shouldn't be gone.
Wow,
it's kind of cool.
If Dave Hackstall has anywhere near the career that Pete Carroll has had, how awesome is that?
Amazing.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for his letter. He said he was going to send me a letter to invite me to practice.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's why we're still against Dave Hackstall.
I mean,
look, Coach.
I mean, Pete Carroll invited me to practice.
See, come on, Coach. That's the missing link. That's the missing piece.
Speaking of Kraken, someone said, so far, if you had to give the playoff MVP to a player on the Kraken, who would you give it to?
Steve Migs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Bowie.
Oh, boy.
Bowie's doing some extra work.
You know what? I have not watched the games closely enough to really be able to make that call. Arguably, you could say Gruby's kept him in the games.
Gruby's been great. I don't know if he's an MVP.
Yeah. Boy, that's a tough one.
I'm leaning towards Yanni Gourde because I'm obviously obsessed.
Well, you've got the shirts, you got the jersey,
but he's just the fact that they're having him be on the line, and he's the leader of that line, and they're the ones that are heading up against the top line for really the only line that matters for Colorado with McKinnon and his crew, but. So I like what he's been doing, and getting that goal was nice. But also Jamie Alexiak on defense. Yeah. He hasn't done he had a goal, a sweet backhander, but he's just a presence back there. And man, he even had that huge block shot at the end of the game. I think Gruby would have saved it, but you never know. And it was like with seconds left in the game, he's just been giving up his body the entire playoffs.
That's a good observation because a lot of times people may not be paying attention to the defensive contributions like that.
That puck that hit his knee too, and he just went down, and I was like, and they're like, there's no padding there, and I'm like, how is there not padding there? That's all I was thinking.
Oh, it's like when you find that little spot, even as a goalie, like there's certain spots in your gear, like it just catches like in a little spot that maybe is like a part that needs to bend, and you're like, why? If it was just 1 inch higher, it would have just hit full padding. But Alexiak, I think I would lean towards. He's been freaking great.
That's okay. So there we go.
There's so many. That's
your 2 stars.
I love the depth of this team.
Yeah. It gets spread around. It's not easy. I mean, it's not like a standout. Oh, I definitely know that I would say, but I like that defense is super important in the playoffs.
Yes.
And so, but sometimes you don't notice it because you're just looking for the goalie and the goal scorers. So this is a nice problem to have trying to figure this out.
Oh yeah, and then bringing in a kid from Coachella that first shot on goal goes in, and the fact that his parents were there.
His first NHL game is a very huge playoff game. His first NHL shot is a very huge playoff goal. Just insane.
Yes.
Yeah, because I believe his was the third goal of the game, so of course my theory came true.
Second goal. Third goal.
Third goal
total.
overall.
Yes.
So there you go. And my theory came true thanks to this kid from Coachella.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was Ty Cartier.
Cartier, yeah.
Carts. That's what they call him.
Carts? Good. That's a lot easier for me to remember.
They're already selling his jersey on the team shop, number 52.
Well, I hope he stays that number. Don't know if he will.
He's number 12 everywhere else, like in junior hockey and also with Coachella. And so I'm like, well, there's no number 12. So I wonder if, like, because they're on the road and they had to bring him up, like, they're like, we have a 5 and we have a 2 we could put on here. We don't have a 1. So he's going to be 25 or 52.
What a great number to have in Seattle if you end up being a good player.
having number 12, which is already a beloved number anyway. So.
At this point, I don't know, man. You scored a goal with wearing number 52. I'm not a superstitious, but like, you ride that number now.
I'm superstitious. I would.
And also the team's like, dude, we're selling jerseys with that number. That's your number now.
Yeah. And why not? Like, make 52 something. I mean, wasn't that Easterell's number?
51.
He was 51. All right. Yeah. So he's the next the next unexplained zone.
Well, whenever Shane Wright comes back, he's 51.
Oh, that's right. You know what? And how about all I've been thinking about Shane Wright is like the next phenom. Had no idea we had a whole rookie of the year in this kid.
Yeah, Carts.
And Carts comes up. Undrafted. Unbelievable. All right, big question. Has nothing to do with hockey, unfortunately, but it has everything to do with Ryan Castle and a psychic. What do Ryan Castle and a psychic have in common? I'm going to tell you at 9:52 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. And now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and a psychic have in common?
I predict the texters will say something about me and Steve.
Ooh, let's see.
Also, I have a little bit of psychic in me because I used to bang Miss Cleo.
Would it be the other way around?
What was her catchphrase? Oh, she had something.
Give me your money, idiots.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
That was You're a sucker.
Yeah.
Call me now.
Call me now? Was that it? Nice.
It's clever.
Oh, here it is. Steve likes looking into their big round crystal balls.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
See, told you. Got a little psychic on me.
They both know. Oh, never mind.
Whoa.
At least they spelled it with the no. So I guess it's okay.
Okay, then. Yes.
Gotcha.
All righty. This is all.
Not to you.
Super.
Yeah.
There's a guy in L.A. named Mauro Restrepo, and he just filed a third lawsuit against a psychic for defrauding him out of $1,000 and causing emotional distress. Okay, Mauro. He said his ex-girlfriend put a curse on him. So, got a witch to do it. So he went to this psychic, Sophia, to get rid of the curse. She said she has a PhD and she required
PhD in what?
In psychicness. So she said,
you Psychic 101. I took that class.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pay me $5,100 Mauro, and I will remove that curse. And so he's like, okay, gave her a down payment of $1,000. She gave him a crystal, which apparently would do it. Mm-hmm. He says it didn't do it. And she won't give him the $1,000 back, and he's demanding $25,000 in damages.
I paid $1,000 for a crystal once, but it was a stripper named Crystal.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, boy, she took away the curse, all right.
I'm impressed. I thought you were going to go down the meth road.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, all right.
Took a right turn on you, didn't I?
I like it.
Ryan Castle, he will curse you with a 12-pack. That's next.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. Can I leave things off of a bankruptcy, like my car?
You have to list all of your assets and creditors when you file bankruptcy. So you would have to tell the court and the trustee that you have the car or that you have a car loan. You could say that I want to keep my car and continue to make my payments on the car. But the court will need to know that you have a car and that you may have a payment on the car. So by leaving it off the bankruptcy, if you mean that you cannot disclose it to the court, the answer to that is no, you must disclose it. However, that does not mean that you'll lose those assets. You'll be able to keep things like a car and a house in almost all cases, but you must disclose them to the court. But you'll need to continue to make payments on a house or a car that you intend to keep.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
At Columbia College, you can invest in your future without sacrificing today. Online, in-class, and virtual options save you time and money. Take the first step toward earning your accredited degree. Classes start soon. Learn more at yourfuture.ccis.edu.